sorry, forgot to start the LIVEW. At Aiaia star said, oops, sorry, forgot to start the LIVEW. Said I should be asleep or whatever. At silly underscore guy 83 asks. Underscore guy said, why is it echoing?
Good day, gamers! Ha ha ha! I just realized why it was echoing because I forgot to mute my live stream that I had on. I had the live stream wiping on. Hello everyone! Hi! Hello! 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 Sammy! Phantom Cat! LT! Hello everyone! Thank you very much for joining the stream. And I think the chat is working. It just sucks that it looks really sad. I need to fix that. In the meantime,
the underscore underscore 7912 said hi. At silly underscore guy 3 said hi.
Why is it so many? Wait, I might need to fix that. I think I forgot to take out the setting for the caster labs. Alerts. Oh no, I don't need plugins. No, alerts. Lamau, settings, shots. Goodbye.
At silly underscore guy 3 said I'm going to bed. I'm sorry, MDA.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's. I know it's not everyone's good time around this time, so I understand.
At silly underscore guy 3
I will need to change.
7 a.m. It's 12 at night for me.
It's 12 at night. Okay, that's okay. Good night. It's off. It should be off. Why is it weird? Settings. Sorry guys, I'm just like checking how to turn off the sound because I swear I did turn it off. Stream chat. Richardson alert. I don't know what the hell happened. I forgot that there's even like a sound for the comments on this app that I'm using. It's still saying the words. I don't need any TTS. God damn it! Maybe I should just delete the chat for now. I'll figure it out later. This is so annoying because I swear I didn't have that on. Chatbot. Ah, okay, that makes sense. It's not in the. Oh, okay, there's two setting stuff. Okay. Testing volume. I don't know why it's saying it twice though for some reason. Well, I found out read message ding when a new message comes in. Wait, what if I do this?
mdatriplstar is bad. And I am 3 stars bad.
Okay, I'm not gonna put that though. Okay. Use automated message background, show user pronoun.
And Laura Camilla Mendoza Vergara 6543 said hello waving hand emoji.
Hi! Okay, I don't know why it's still saying it, but even though I put it through, it's not it shouldn't be playing, but I guess at least it's not saying double now. I guess it's a plus. Hello Laura. We'll be drawing stuff. Yes. Oh yeah, I have the chat. Maybe actually how's it doing? I'll put you here. I'll put you all here.
And Laura Camilla Mendoza Vergara 6543 said how are you grinning cat with smiling eyes emoji.
I'm doing alright. I added some few stuff for my stream, and then it did double sounding stuff. So I'm not sure what's happening in there. I hope everyone's doing okay. I think today's stream might be a quiet one because I just want to focus on making the art today. Though I'm still not sure what to draw mostly. So though feel free to yap away or just listen to me figuring out stuff for the art. And yeah, this is how this stream's gonna be a bit quiet, a bit more of a focus stream. I do kind of want to listen to something else today for the music. I'm gonna listen to someone yap about Attack on Titan.
You know how you leave your house every day and never think, I sure hope I don't get eaten by a giant humanoid monster? Well, after you watch today's recap, you may start to second guess those thoughts. That's right, today we're covering Attack on Titan. Created by Hajime Isayama, Attack on Titan started as a manga series in September of 2009 and was so damn popular that it was adapted into an anime that ran from September 2013 to November 2023, which is what we'll be covering. It follows the story of Eren Yeager, a young boy who's part of the last human civilization that's forced to live inside 3 walls. Why is that, I hear you asking? Remember the monsters that I mentioned before? Yeah, they're called Titans, and there's a lot of them. So, can Eren Yeager and his friends take down the Titans and free humanity from this nightmare? Well, you should strap in, get a couple of snacks, and relax, because this is going to be a long one. Oh, and remember, don't get too attached to any of the characters. There's going to be a lot of death. Here we go. The show opens with a shot of terrified villagers and the towering hand of a Titan on top of the wall. The narrator lets us know that this right here was the moment that changed everything, and we find out just how right they are. Earlier that same day, the Scott Regiment is out. Well, attacking Titans, aiming to build humanity's first base beyond the wall. Suddenly, they see a Titan without hesitating. They use their omnidirectional mobility gear, or ODM gear, to swing off the trees and jump in to attack them. Inside the walls, our main character, Aaron Yeager, who's just a kid, wakes up from a dream, and he's crying. Mikasa Ackerman, his adopted sister, asks him why he's crying, but Aaron can't remember his dream. I need you to write this down somewhere, because it's going to be very important. On their way home to the Shiganshina district, Aaron and Mikasa meet Hannes, a soldier who's an old family friend, and a bunch of other soldiers too. Aaron gets mad at them for day drinking, saying they're not ready for if something bad happens, but Hannes tells him to take it easy, saying there isn't a Titan big enough to scale the walls, and there hasn't been an incident in the last 100 years. But Aaron isn't satisfied. He's tired of being stuck in the walls like a caged animal. Damn, Aaron, you gotta chill out, man.
He's just a kid. Tends to dream bigger than life really wants him to.
On their way home, Aaron tells Mikasa he wants to join the Scout Regiment because he wants to see the world beyond the walls. Mikasa is about to explain why that's a terrible idea, but the bells start ringing, meaning the Scout Regiment is back from a mission. However, it's far from a heroic return. The town is shocked by how few of them came back. A woman goes to look for her son but sees that only his arm was recovered. She asks if his death was at least meaningful, but the commander tells her that they accomplished nothing. Man, this show is dark, and we're just getting started. Bystanders start talking smack about the Scout Regiment, calling it a waste of tax money. Aaron, as you can imagine, takes issue with this and pokes him with one of his sticks. Before he can get in trouble, Mikasa drags him away and throws him against a wall, asking him if he still wants to be a part of the Scout Regiment. Aaron just asks her to pick up the wood with him. Back at home, Aaron's dad, Dr. Yeager, and his mom, Carla, are in the kitchen.
What was that for?
His dad says he has to go to the interior to see some patients, and Mikasa immediately tells them about Aaron's plans to join the Scout Regiment. Snitches get stitches, Mikasa, remember that. Aaron's mom is furious, but his dad says you can't discourage curiosity, and tells Aaron he'd finally show him what's in his basement when he gets back. When he leaves, Carla starts arguing with Aaron about joining the Scout Regiment again, but he just yells at her and leaves. She tells Mikasa to look after him, and Mikasa nods. Aaron runs until he sees his friend Armin Arlelt being bullied by some kids. He decides he's going to show them who's boss, and they start running away. But it's not Aaron they're afraid of. It's Mikasa, who's just behind him. Armin says they were bullying him because he wants to see the world outside the walls, just like Aaron. And apparently that's like super taboo. Man, people inside the walls suck. Aaron then asks Mikasa why she ratted on him, because that's just not cool. Armin agrees with Aaron. Now, he questions whether humanity is even safe inside the walls. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as he says that, the ground starts shaking, and the kids run to see what's going on. And that brings us back to the opening scene of the episode, with a massive Titan looking at them over the wall, and everyone is shook. The Titan isn't just there for sightseeing, though. It kicks a huge hole through the wall. Those closest are crushed, and the rest of the shattered wall flies across the city, obliterating houses and squashing people. Good God. A whole bunch of disgusting Titans come in through the hole, and now the city is in total chaos. Aaron and Mikasa run home, hoping their mom is safe. But this is Attack on Titan. There are no happy endings. As they turn the corner, there's a boulder where their home used to be, and their mom is stuck underneath it. Aaron and Mikasa try to pull her out, but gets distracted by Titans that are walking by in the distance. That has gotta be terrifying. Aaron's mom tells them it's pointless. Her legs are crushed, so she can't even run if they manage to get her free. She tells them to run, but Aaron ignores it, saying he'll carry her. In tears, Carla asks him why he never listens to her. Just then, a Titan starts moving towards them. Luckily, just then, Hannes arrives. Carla begs him to take the kids and run, but Hannes refuses. He's a soldier, and he's gonna kick some Titan ass. Until he actually sees the Titan and gets terrified. He turns tail, picks up the kids, and runs away. Carla thanks him, but then puts her hand on her mouth and silently begs for them not to leave her alone. Aaron is forced to watch helplessly as the Titans pick up his mom and turns her into an afternoon snack, her blood spilling everywhere. And that is episode 1. Episode 2 opens with crows eating the dead people in the Shiganshina district, and a religious man is preaching while people are being picked off and eaten like grapes, until he becomes a Titan snack too. Back with our main characters, Aaron is giving Hannes the business, saying that if he had stayed longer, they could have freed his mother. But Hannes gives it to Aaron straight up. He left because he was too scared to face the Titan. And honestly, can you blame him? Meanwhile, their buddy Armin is on a ship out of Shiganshina, and he's looking through the crowd for his friends. He finally spots them, but the look on their faces stops him from calling out to them. Oh man. Soldiers are hard at work getting survivors through the gates, debating whether they should close the gate or leave it open for more survivors. When a Titan covered in armor starts running towards the gate, they immediately shut it. But it's no use, because the Titan absolutely destroys the whole wall and breaks through. Aaron watches in horror and realizes he's never going back home. With fire in his eyes, he vows to kill every last Titan and free humanity. And so we begin. While that's happening, Aaron's dad is hurrying back home, praying that his family is safe. In a dream, Aaron sees his dad injecting him with a mysterious syringe and giving him the key to his basement. He's woken up by Mikasa and Armin, and all three of them go to get food rations. Oh, and Aaron has the key to his dad's basement around his neck now. Well, that's kind of weird. The three of them go to receive their food rations when they overhear soldiers talking about the food shortage due to the refugees from Wall Maria.
Eat up, the Titans like a little meat on their bones.
Humanity basically lives in these three walls: Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Cinna. The richest live in Wall Cinna, and the poorest in Wall Maria. Aaron loses his mind and attacks them for saying that, but Armin jumps in and apologizes, saving Aaron from an ass-kicking. Aaron gets mad at Armin for being a wuss, but Mikasa smacks Aaron in the face and says Armin is right. All they can hope to do now is survive, before stuffing his face with some bread. The royal government tries to fix the food shortage by having the refugees cultivate land, but it's not enough. The following year, they have the bright idea of using the refugees to launch a military campaign to retake Wall Maria. It goes as well as you'd imagine. 150 out of the 250 soldiers sent to die. After this tragedy, the three friends decide to apply for the military, and a year later, they're part of the newly formed 104th Cadet Corps, one step closer to killing Titans. Episode 3 opens with Keith Shottis, the commandant of the 104th Cadet Corps, giving the new recruits the full metal jacket experience and chewing them out. Well, not all of them. Annie Leonhardt, Mikasa Ackerman, Bertold Hoover, Aaron Yeager, and Ymir are all spared, because they're the survivors from Wall Maria. They don't need it. Poor Armin still gets the business though. He's just too nice. As their commandment continues to go down the line, he's chewing everyone out and has gone full metal jacket mode when he sees Sasha Browse eating a stolen potato.
Here, sir. Have half.
So later, Aaron, Armin, Marco Boat, Connor Springer, and Mina Carolina watch Sasha do her punishment of running until she can't move anymore. Because, duh. Marco asks Aaron how he's so calm, and he tells him he's from Shinganshina. Everyone is shook, and they begin asking Aaron about the Colossal Titan. The constant questioning reminds Aaron of that day, and makes him sick. So Marco asks everyone to back off, but Aaron says it's fine. He's going to use this motivation to join the Scout Regiment and kill every last Titan. But he's interrupted by John Kirstein, who mocks his decision to join the Scouts. Aaron also disapproves of John's goal to join the military police and hide in the interior walls, and the two walk over to each other before John apologizes, and Aaron does too. That's a close call. As people begin to leave, John sees Mikasa and basically falls in love with her. He tries to start a conversation with her, but only manages to compliment her hair. Man, John is just like me.
You have really beautiful black hair.
She acknowledges that compliment, and John follows her outside and sees her with Aaron, which ruins his whole mood.
Okay, fine. I'll cut it. How short should I go to?
Sasha finally falls to the ground and is probably on the verge of death when she smells food. One of the cadets, Krista Lenz, has brought her bread. Sasha basically worships Krista, which another girl named Ymir disapproves of. Sasha gobbles up the bread and then passes out, which is exactly what I'm going to do when I finish this recap. The next day, the cadets begin practicing with the ODM gear, which is, again, the flashy stuff the soldiers use to face off against Titans. Aaron fails miserably at it, but Mikasa and Armin pass with flying colors. Armin and Mikasa try coaching Aaron on how to use the ODM gear, but he fails miserably. Again. Mikasa tries to get Aaron to quit being a soldier over dinner, but he's having none of it, and gets up and leaves mid-conversation. Aaron asks around for advice on how to use the ODM gear properly, but isn't getting anywhere. So Aaron goes to Rainer Braun and Bertold Hoover to get help. They're reluctant to help at first, but after they exchange Titan stories, they go on a late-night walk and give Aaron some tips, and basically become friends, which is super sweet. The next day, Aaron has one last chance at ODM balancing. He gets it at first, and everyone cheers, but then he falls again. Everyone is sad, but then Shottis tells him to switch with another guy, and he balances perfectly. The equipment that Aaron was working with is faulty, and he's actually really awesome at this. Turns out, Shottis was an old friend of Aaron's dad. He didn't want him to die as a soldier, but in the end, he had to give in to Aaron's resolve. Episode 4 starts with a 2-year time skip. Yep, just like that. The cadets of the 104th Corps are running with weighted backpacks as part of their training. Armin is lagging behind, and Shottis is screaming his lungs out at him, but Rainer takes his bag from him, showing excellent teamwork. Later, they're practicing hand-to-hand combat, and Aaron is annoyed because he thinks it's useless. But Raynor explains that as soldiers, they need to be prepared for anything and everything. Raynor sees Annie slacking off and tells her to practice with Aaron. She proceeds to kick his ass, and then it's Raynor's turn, who also gets his ass kicked. Aaron is amazed at her technique, but she's uninterested. She says how ironic it is that the top 10 graduates, aka the 10 best Titan fighters, are the only ones who get to join the military police and live within the walls, saying she's not dying outside the walls. At dinner, Aaron insults John for wanting to join the military police, and the two almost fight again. Mikasa breaks up the fight, and John is obviously jealous of Aaron, so he grabs his shirt.
You pissed me off! What? Are you crazy?
But Aaron uses the same move Annie used on him to put John on his ass, before saying he's not worthy of calling himself a soldier. Shadish shows up and asks what the loud noise was, and Mikasa saves both of them by saying Sasha farted. Now that is pure unadulterated comedy.
For the love of God, learn some self-control.
The top 10 graduates, those eligible to apply for the military police, are revealed. Krista Lenz, Sasha Brous, Connie Springer, Marco Boat, John Kirstein, Aaron Yeager, Annie Leonhardt, Bertold Hoover, Raynor Braun, and the best soldier of the class, Mikasa Ackerman. As the graduates celebrate, Thomas Wagner questions Aaron's decision to join the Scout Regiment, but Aaron says throwing away the sacrifice of those who died before him would be a disgrace. Aaron storms out, but Armin and Mikasa stop him, saying they'll join the Scout Regiment too. Aaron tries to stop them. Bit of a hypocrite, huh? But Armin wants to help humanity, and Mikasa will follow Aaron wherever he goes. Leaving through Trost District, a crowd of people are waiting for the main force of the Scout Regiment to pass. Commander Erwin Smith, Captain Levy, and Section Commander Hanji Zoe. Remember those names, they're going to be very important. Meanwhile, the young soldiers meet Hannes, who's been promoted to captain, and he congratulates them on graduating, before apologizing for his failure to rescue Aaron's mother.
But I want you to know your mom's death still haunts me.
But Aaron tells him that it's not his fault, which shocks Hannes. The graduates are working on the cannons on the wall, and they're all in very good spirits, with some even convinced by Aaron's speech to join the scouting regiment. Aaron looks at the city, happy that humanity is finally getting its dignity back, until yellow lightning flashes behind him, and the colossal titan suddenly appears. What? It blows all the graduates away. But they recover, and Aaron, 5 years later, after losing his mother, is finally face to face with the one that did it. Episode 5 opens with Aaron running at the colossal titan, who attacks back and destroys the cannons. So, this thing is smart too. Great. Aaron jumps at it, but it lets out a huge wave of steam that pushes him back. When he tries to attack again, his blades slice through the air. The colossal titan has disappeared.
Down! Take only what you need to survive! File through as calmly as possible!
The soldiers begin attacking the titans that are pouring through the hole in the wall, doing their best to stop what happened 5 years ago from repeating. Meanwhile, Dot Pixis is playing chess with Lord Wald, when a soldier tells him that the colossal titan has destroyed the gate at Trost District. Pixis leaves to join the fight, even though Lord Wald practically begs him not to. As you'll see soon, this Pixis guy, not a big fan of the rules. At Trost, Worman divides the cadets in 2 individual groups. Most of them are panicking, because I mean, who wouldn't? John, however, is just annoyed. He would have made military police literally the next day. He bumps into Aaron, who says they made it out of training, and they'll make it out of this too. They're friends now, which is pretty wholesome. As John leaves, Mikasa tells Aaron to look for her if he's in trouble. She's such a boss. But they're interrupted by Ian Dietrich, who tells Mikasa she's been assigned to the rear squad. Mikasa tries to argue, but Aaron snaps at her, saying that nobody cares about what she wants. Mankind is at stake. As they're about to part, Mikasa asks Aaron not to die. Yeah, about that.
Whatever happens, don't get yourself killed.
Aaron and Armin are standing by, waiting for orders, as he gets flashbacks of learning about titans, how they literally eat human beings for fun, and how the only way to beat them is to cut their napes, which is basically the back of their neck. Aaron is excited. Doing well here could mean a promotion in the scouts. However, their enthusiasm turns to horror very quick, when a titan eats Thomas. Furious, Aaron rushes to kill that titan, but gets his leg bitten off by another titan mid-air, falling hard. More titans appear, killing them one after another, to the horror of Armin, who can't even move. A titan picks him up. He can't even fight back. And he's about to get eaten, until Aaron jumps in and pulls him out, using his blade to keep the titan's mouth open. Aaron tells Armin they're going to visit the world outside the walls, just like they talked about. Armin tries to save him, but the titan bites down, cutting his left arm off and swallowing him, leaving Armin screaming. Well, there goes our main character. What now? Episode 6 starts with Connie snapping Armin out of a PTSD haze. Connie asks him where the rest of his team is, but Ymir says it's obvious. They're dead. And his cowardly ass is the only one that survived. Ouch. Connie's about to start fighting her, but Krista breaks it up. At this point, Armin realizes he's basically dead weight, that Eren and Mikasa probably think that about him too. So he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave before I cause anyone else more problems. He sees a classmate trying to resuscitate her boyfriend, and instead of helping, just says he's dead. At the base of Wall Rose, evacuating people are stopped by a merchant and his big-ass cart of goods. He's being a real tool about it too, saying none of their lives are worth the amount of money the goods are worth. Just then, a little girl notices a Titan making a beeline for them, until Mikasa takes it down. She then goes to the merchant and threatens to kill him if he doesn't move his cart, which he then obviously does. The little girl and her mother thank Mikasa, and she salutes back before she has a flashback about her own mother. Mikasa lived a happy life with her parents.
I don't understand. How can I have children?
Honey, why don't you explain?
Until Dr. Yeager and Eren came to visit and found both parents dead and Mikasa missing. His dad goes to call the authorities and asks Eren to stay there, but this is Eren, so he tracks down Mikasa's kidnappers and manages to kill 2 of them by pretending to be a lost child. Only one problem with that, there were 3 kidnappers, and the third one grabs Eren from behind and is about to strangle him to death. But Mikasa locks in and literally kills the third guy in cold blood. When the police show up, they're horrified and question whether kids could even do something like this. Dr. Yeager scolds Eren for doing something so reckless, but he says he wanted to save Mikasa. Mikasa's helpless, homeless, and alone, and she doesn't know what she's going to do now.
There's really nowhere else for me to go.
So Eren gives her his scarf, the same one she wears every day, and tells her she can live with them. The flashback ends as the soldiers can finally retreat, but Mikasa stays back to help the Vanguard. She remembers that she is a family, and that with Eren, she can do anything. Yeah, who's gonna tell her? Episode 7 starts with Mikasa arriving to see the HQ building under attack by the Titans. It's HQ's job to keep supplying fuel for the ODM gear, so everyone's running low on ODM gas. So how is everyone inside HQ holding up? Okay, never mind. Outside, Connie tries to convince John to go to HQ. It's better than staying here. Sasha even offers to lead them, but everyone else is way too traumatized to follow. Well, everyone except Annie, Reiner, Bertold, and Marco. Mikasa shows up and asks about Eren, which sends Armin into a frenzy. Mikasa takes one look at him and realizes what happened, before telling him to pull himself together. They can't afford to be emotional at a time like this. She gets up and tells everyone she's going to HQ. They say it's a suicide mission, but she just calls them cowards who give up easy. That is harsh, especially if you're a soldier. She leaves, and her speech motivates John, who rallies the rest of them in one of the coolest scenes ever. Mikasa leads the way, killing Titans as she goes, but Armin realizes she's using too much gas. She's taking her sadness out on the Titans. This doesn't last long, as she runs out of gas and falls out of the sky. Connie goes to help her and asks John to take point. Meanwhile, Mikasa finally realizes she's lost her family again, and falls to her knees as a Titan approaches her. Mikasa thinks about her life and decides, even though the world is cruel, she had a good life with Eren. She accepts her fate, and is about to be eaten by the Titan, when she suddenly cuts its finger off and jumps out of the way, realizing she doesn't want to die. That Eren told her to keep fighting no matter what, as her exit route is blocked by a second Titan. She decides if she goes down fighting, and she lets out a scream. But then, she's saved by the second Titan? Mikasa is shocked by this, and can't even move. She's saved by Armin, never thought I'd say that, and Connie asks them if they're okay. Just then, they get front row seats to this new Titan that apparently hates his own kind, as it takes a human fighting stance and then punches another Titan's head off about 100 kilometers away, before moving on to find more Titans to kill. Armin gives Mikasa his gas canisters, and they all decide to move towards HQ so they can replenish their supply of gas and fight back against the Titans, while planning to kill himself. But Mikasa refuses to leave him behind, and tells them they're going to survive this together. Episode 8 starts where Episode 7 left off. Armin comes up with a plan to lure their new anti-Titan to HQ so he can kill as many Titans as possible, and clear a path for them to get there. Most of them make it to the building, and crash in through the window.
You guys were the supply team?
John sees members of the supply squad and goes apeshit on them for abandoning everyone outside. And just then, Titans start breaking through the windows and going after the cadets. They evacuate the HQ interior, but seeing the Titans break John's spirit, he wonders if humans can ever really beat these monsters. At that exact moment, John sees a massive fist. It's the anti-Titan punching the actual Titans attacking HQ. Mikasa, Connie, and Armin successfully make it to the HQ. Mikasa explains that you can use this Titan to fight back against the rest, as we cut to scenes of it just kicking an unholy amount of ass. Using that as a distraction, the cadets use the lift to make it down to the supply room. There, Armin comes up with a plan on how to take out the 7 or so smaller Titans. He may be a coward, but he's always got a plan.
Worst comes to worst, you can always just shove one of these up their ass.
Everyone takes positions, and they go for it. The weaker ones use their guns to distract the Titans, while the strong ones attack their napes from behind. The execution isn't perfect, but it ends up working. The rest of the cadets refuel and are about to head back to the wall, but Mikasa is watching the anti-Titan. It's been pinned down by the other Titans who are eating him now. Aw, yikes. John says that they should leave him behind, but Rainer and Annie argue that it could be an ally. While they argue, it takes care of the last Titans before letting out a roar and collapsing. Everyone thinks it's dead, until a figure emerges from the Titan's nape, and that figure is Eren. Why? Do you really think they were gonna kill the main character like that? Fooled ya. Mikasa just hugs him and cries, while the rest of the cadets are absolutely shook. Episode 9 opens with a flashback to earlier that morning, with the scouting regiment leaving for a mission. We're introduced to our core characters: Commander Erwin, a headstrong, calm, and composed leader; Section Commander Hanji Joey, an extremely intelligent woman whose curiosity for Titans and general behavior borders on insanity; and Captain Levy, a strong and silent badass who's also a clean freak. We're shown just how dangerous Titans are, as even the best soldiers have a 30% casualty rate. What we also see is just how much of a badass Levy is, as he kills 3 Titans like it's nothing, before consoling a dying comrade.
Who the fuck is Levy?
The torch will be carried on.
Just then, Commander Erwin tells them that all Titans are moving north. They immediately realize something must be wrong back at the wall, and they race back. We're then shown Eren's perspective of being eaten by the Titan. He wakes up in the Titan's stomach and sees the remains of his comrades that were eaten too. Good God, that is traumatizing. He thinks about how he ended up there despite all of his training, and points his dismembered hand towards the Titan's throat, swearing he'll kill every last one of them. And that's when the Titan's mouth explodes with a massive hand. Eren can become a Titan now. Eren wakes up, but he's just saying one thing: I'll kill them all. We pan to Armin, horrified at this, which is low-key hilarious. And then we're shown a bunch of garrison soldiers who are basically scared for their lives. Everyone knows Eren just came out of that Titan. Well, everyone except Eren, who doesn't remember. The captain lays it out simply: if Eren makes a move or says something fishy, he's getting blasted by a cannon. Oh, and Mikasa and Armin are probably getting charged with treason. And they say people from the military are too harsh. I think they're swell. He then asks Eren a simple question: is he a human or a Titan? Eren doesn't understand, so the captain explains how multiple people saw him come out of a Titan. He threatens to kill him, and Mikasa threatens him back. Eren says he's a human, but the captain's having none of it, and shoots the cannon at them. As they're about to get blown to smithereens, Eren remembers his dad's words, and how their memories would show him what to do.
Sorry. I wish there was more time to explain all this.
He instinctively bites down on his hand and partially transforms into a Titan, stopping the blast from the cannon and saving his friends. Oh boy. Episode 10 opens with a scene inside the walls. Things are getting tense. Daz freaks out about his friends getting eaten by Titans and nearly kills himself from the trauma, but Marco stops him, because that's what friends are for. Meanwhile, Sasha's got a stomachache, because of course she does, and John, Krista, and Ymir are trying to figure out where Eren and Mikasa are without causing a panic. Suddenly, a cannon fires inside Wall Rose, making everyone rush to see what happened. Protected by Eren's half-formed Titan, Mikasa and Armin watch as Eren wakes up and gets out of the Titan form. Eren's got a plan to use his Titan powers to get back to his house in Wall Maria, thinking that the basement has all the answers. But after an argument with Mikasa, he suggests another plan, where Armin convinces the garrison regiment that Eren can actually be an asset to humanity. So please don't blow him to smithereens. Unfortunately for them, Captain Warman is in no mood to listen, and intends on getting rid of them.
I think we could at least do these young soldiers the favor of hearing them out.
But that's when Commander Pixis intervenes. He's interested in using Eren's abilities, and doesn't want to blow up humanity's potential hope against Titans. Yep, this guy seems pretty smart. Pixis has a plan: to steal the breach in the wall with a giant boulder. Eren has doubts about controlling his Titan form because he's used it twice. 1.5 times, really. But after realizing the stakes, he agrees to use his Titan form to help. Here we go. Episode 11 starts on top of the wall. Pixis explains the plan to Eren and Armin. Eren is way more enthusiastic than Armin, who thinks the plan is too optimistic. Real ball of sunshine, this guy. But Eren says Pixis knows what he's talking about, which is a lot of faith to put in someone you just met. Meanwhile, the soldiers, hearing the plan to retake Trost, are pretty discouraged. And I don't blame them. Daz freaks out again. Things are looking pretty bleak. Back at the wall, Pixis tells Aaron about a legend. In it, humanity stopped fighting amongst themselves when a common enemy appeared. Aaron says, that's a bunch of BS. And Pixis laughs and agrees. They keep walking, and even see Hannes and his groups along the way.
Well, I'll be damned.
Pixis takes out his container and takes a swig. Get used to that. And he offers Aaron a sip as well. Pixis and Aaron stand atop the wall and address the soldiers. Pixis tells them that they have a plan to retake Trost and plug up the wall using Aaron, who he explains as a science experiment that can transform into a Titan and control it. That's a lie, but whatever. Armin explains the plan. Since Titans go wherever there are the most humans, a bunch of soldiers will go to a corner of the wall and lure them there, where they will be bombarded by cannons from atop the wall. This will open up space for Aaron's Titan, which will be accompanied by a group of elite soldiers that will protect him while he uses the massive boulder to plug up the wall. The soldiers react pretty much how you would expect if you were asked to march into certain death. They're pissed. A lot of them say that they'd rather spend their last days with their families. Captain Warman says that he will have everyone who leaves killed, but Pixis says he'll pardon everyone that leaves. However, he says that by leaving, they're increasing the chances of their families having to face the same fear, which convinces the soldiers to stay. Pixis then explains that the mission to retake Wall Maria 4 years ago was actually just the government reducing the population to ensure humanity's survival. Damn. He says they got off lucky last time. Only 20% of the population had to die. But if Wall Rose gets breached, they only have Wall Cinna left, and that means only 50% of humans would survive, which is why they have to succeed. Pixis orders Ian Dietrich, Rico Brzezinska, and Matabi Jarnak to guard Aaron while he tries to plug the hole. They're iffy about the plan, but Pixis convinces them to lock in, before putting Ian in charge. Meanwhile, Armin is apologizing to Aaron because what else would he be doing? But Aaron assures him he believes in him, and that he's super smart and stuff. Then it's Mikasa's turn to whine, because she says she wants to be part of the team guarding him. Aaron tells her she can't do that because she's part of the decoy team, but Ian orders her to join them. Before they leave, Aaron and Armin tell each other not to die, which is the core of any great friendship. Commander Pixis tells the soldiers in the crowd that this would literally be humanity's first ever victory over the Titans. Sounds like humanity is a bit of a skill issue to me. Anyway, Aaron and his group make it to the boulder. There he bites his hand and transforms into his Titan form, which, I have to say, is really cool. Seeing him walking toward the stone, Mikasa believes Aaron will save everyone. But this is Attack on Titan. Things always go horribly wrong, and Aaron takes one look at the boulder before attacking Mikasa instead. Turns out, he can't control his Titan. Great. That's just what he needed. Episode 12 starts with the plan to lure Titans to the corner of Trost continuing. Even though soldiers try to avoid combat, a fifth of them end up dying. Deaths, which Pixis says are solely on his hands. Man, I'd go to war for this guy. Meanwhile, Mikasa is dodging Aaron's punches, while the elite team discusses whether they should just abandon Aaron. Mikasa jumps on his face, trying to convince him, but he just punches his own face. Great plan, guys. Seeing a red flare, Armin decides to head over to Aaron. The soldier tells Pixis to abandon the whole Aaron plan, but Pixis trusts the elite team. So Matabi from the elite team decides to retreat. Great. Mikasa is mad at him, but Ian tells them to focus. They're being surrounded by Titans. The elite team is still arguing about retreating, but decide to follow the plan.
Hi,
We are not leaving Jaeger
Oh my
defenseless,
goodness, how are you doing?
Mikasa thanks Ian, but he just
I'm
asks her
surprised
to
you got
protect
her.
her lover, which makes her blush.
Sorry.
Mikasa sees Aaron's wounds, which are not
I
healing
hope you're
themselves
having a
anymore,
great
which makes her panic.
day.
Meanwhile, Aaron is
My
half-conscious,
stream
getting
today is
visions of
just a
Mikasa and
very
his family.
chill one.
Yeah,
I'm just
they
making
might be
like
good.
a
Armin arrives
art
just in time to see
thumbnail or
Aaron's
at
Titan
least
injured.
an art
While that's
illustration
happening,
for my
John,
OC
Connie, and Annie
for
head out to
the
lure Titans to the corner of the wall.
cover,
Back with the elite team,
I'm
Mikasa saves Matabi from a
submitting
Titan,
my-
but they're shook when they see more Titans
my
coming.
cover
Turns out Aaron is luring
for
all the
the
Titans in.
contest.
Oh, come on. Armin reaches
Scared me
and
a bit.
asks her what's
Today-
up, and
this is
she
the first
tells
time
him
I
everything.
have like
Armin
a
stabs
TTS,
Aaron's
like,
nape, trying to wake him up,
thing,
and the blade goes through his arm. Aaron is still half-conscious and can't hear what Armin's trying to say to him.
With the
You're not
chat,
making any
so
sense, Armin.
Meanwhile, Mikasa and
the
the
whole-
elite
the
team
whole
fight off the
stream has
Titans
just been
approaching.
really
Back with
quiet,
the
and
others,
then I just,
Connie and Annie manage to make it to the wall,
Okay, so he
but
said,
James
"Ah!"
William Gear breaks. Oh man, he hides in a house to get away from the Titans, but he spots a dead soldier
I
that
hope
still
you're
has his
doing-
ODM
you're having
gear.
a great
Meanwhile,
day
Armin finally gets through to
or
Aaron,
night.
and he
I don't know
awakens
what's your
with
time
a
zone
fury.
in
All right,
your-
let's
in
go.
your
Episode
area.
13
In
keeps the
your
pace
area.
going. The elite soldiers continue to defend Aaron. Rico's squad is completely wiped out in the battle,
I just
leaving
been-
only
yeah,
her and one female soldier alive. They're forced to retreat to the boulder's
Goddamn
location where they see more
Quaintax
Titans heading
said
their
at
way. Meanwhile, John is trying to take the gear from the
Oh my
dead
God.
soldier, but gets approached by a Titan.
Best followers
Thankfully,
and
Annie,
viewers
Connie,
on
and Marco
stream.
jump
I
in to
forgot that
distract
Twitch
Titan,
has
and
bots
John
with
manages
like,
to get
you
the
want
gear
more
working, and they all
viewers?
manage
At
to
History
escape. Suddenly, the
1124
ground
said I'm
starts
good.
shaking, and they
I'm
turn around to
staying
see
at home, and it's rain
Aaron. He's
outside.
carrying the boulder
Pretty
and moving
chill.
towards the wall.
Oh,
The elite
nice.
team and Mikasa
Rain is
all watch
really
this in
nice.
surprise. Armin shows
like
up and
rain.
tells them Aaron's back, and they need to make sure he makes it to the wall. All of the elite team, including Mataba,
here
band
I live
together
is
to make
still,
sure Aaron
pretty
makes it.
sunny,
And even
so,
Annie, Connie, and John
well,
come down
it
from
had
the wall
been,
to
like,
help out.
really rainy
Finally.
for some days,
Defend him!
but most of the time,
That's what it comes to!
Aaron
I think
keeps
it's
walking towards the
turning a
hole
bit
as the
cold
soldiers
'cause
distract Titans to
winter
defend
is-
him.
well,
A lot of the
not really
soldiers end up
winter.
losing their
Spring?
lives in the
Spring
struggle,
is coming?
including Mataba.
Spring is
Throughout the
coming.
entire show, Aaron keeps moving towards
At
the
least
wall.
if
Soldiers
I'm
keep
thinking
dying
it
and getting
right, should
eaten,
be
and
spring
Mikasa and
next.
Armin see Ian sacrifice himself to save the life
At
of one of his
History
comrades.
1124
Rico flies
said you're
in to
going
cut
to
a
cover
Titan's eye, and
Aiaia too?
Mikasa finishes it off.
OMG,
Finally,
can't
with
wait to
Armin
listen to
screaming
it.
in encouragement,
Yeah,
Aaron
I
blocks
guess,
the breach
yeah,
and wall
I
rose.
covered,
With tears in her
I
eyes, Rico
finished
says her
recording
comrades
the
didn't die in
harmonies
vain, and
yesterday,
shoots a
and
yellow
then I sent
signal
it
flare
to
to show
my-
they succeeded.
my,
Seeing this, Pixis
my
immediately sends
friend
reinforcements
Aki
to rescue the
to
elite
to
team.
help me
Rico
mix
says
it,
they have to make it back to
I
the
know
wall,
my
but
mixing
Mikasa
still
goes to help
sucks.
Aaron get out of the Titan.
Sucks
Rico
balls.
follows and cuts him out, but they're suddenly ambushed by two Titans.
yeah,
However, they're immediately
then,
killed by a soldier wearing
I'm
the
so
wings of
excited
freedom.
for the
It's Captain Levy,
mix
who asks
to
them
be
what the
done.
situation is. The garrison and Scout
But I
Regiment
have,
begin
like,
killing
yeah, the
Titans,
whole
and Frost is free of
vocals
Titans
and
after a whole day of fighting.
everything done
They even
already.
managed to capture two
I am
Titans.
just
However,
focusing
there
on
were a
doing
lot of casualties.
art.
Such is the price of war.
Currently,
In the aftermath of the battle, John
but
is
I
going through the
wasn't
dead
sure
bodies.
if I'm
But to
gonna
his
make
and
a
my
music
horror, he
video
sees
for
Marco's
it or
body.
not.
He died in the struggle too. Like I said
I
at the
think I have
start,
them to
don't
make
get
a
too
music
attached to
video,
anybody.
but
Afterwards, Aaron wakes
I'll
up in
see
the
what I
underground
feel
military
like.
jail and is questioned by Erwin Smith and Levi Ackerman.
I did
Now that I
ask
think of it,
Aki if
isn't
it's possible
Mikasa
to
and Ackerman
have
too?
my-
It's
to have
weird.
them
Anyway, they
mixing
ask him what his intentions
done
are and ask him about the
by
basement and the
the
key.
end of the
Aaron
week,
tells them everything he
hopefully.
knows, and he says he wants to join the Scout Regiment and kill every last Titan. Levi agrees, but not because he trusts Aaron, so he can kill him if he betrays them. Yikes.
I tried.
Good news, Jaeger.
I tried my
You're
best.
now
yo.
officially a member of the Scouts.
A part
Episode
of me still
14 starts
cringes
with
every
Aaron
time I
still
sing
imprisoned, and the news of a
in-
Titan siding
well,
with humans
that's not
spreading
right
like
cringe,
wildfire.
but, like,
The people
bit-
inside Wall
um,
Senna are just worried about having to take in refugees and absolutely hate the rumors,
self-conscious.
while the people of Wall
Or,
Rose
like,
love
what's
Aaron
the
and think of
other
him
word
as their
for it?
savior. Meanwhile, the commander of the
not
military
actually sure
police,
what's
Niall
other.
Doc, says
Right-
they
right
need to
for-
eliminate
right for
Aaron.
word.
They
It's
cannot
like
allow the deviants
between
from the
cringe
Scout
and also,
Regiment
like,
to have
scared.
him. He and the rest of the soldiers then
'Cause, like,
salute the head of the
I
three
tried my
military
best
branches.
with my-
Dallas Zachary,
my-
who
my
arrives at the location of
pronunciation
the
with my
trial.
Japanese,
Oh,
like,
did I
singing,
mention they're gonna have a
but also
trial
at the
to
same
decide
time
whether
I
Aaron
want
lives or
my
not?
singing
Yeah,
to
this
be
show gets pretty
good,
political.
not
On top
just
of the
like,
wall, Erwin
the
Smith and Doc
pronunciation
Pixis discuss the
needs to be
situation.
right.
Pixis says Zachary will have a final say in the matter, explaining that he considers things based on whether they are good or bad for humanity.
I already
Erwin
finished my
says that he
vocals, so-
doesn't think they can win
Well,
the trial, but he's ready to make a
whatever
proposal, which will
Aki
depend on
cooked,
how things go.
that will
Back
be the
in
final-
the jail, Hanji
final,
Zoe and Mike Zacharias
Don't mind him.
That will be the
He makes a habit of giving
final
new people a
version.
thorough sniff.
Anyways.
get Aaron out of his cell and lead him to his trial. And Hanji wishes him good luck. And suddenly, Aaron finds himself inside of a military courtroom. Zachary tells Aaron he's running a trial to decide his future. He explains that hiding Aaron's existence isn't working anymore, so they have to go public to prevent internal conflict. Niall Doc from the
You should-
military police
well,
wants Aaron
focus on
executed
schooling
immediately.
first,
Because,
then
of
you
course he
can
does,
do another
damn
cover
coward.
for sure.
As Niall presses Aaron
It's
for
better
info,
to-
Pastor Nick jumps
to
in,
definitely
saying they should
to
kill Aaron right
finish
now.
all your schooling
Jeez.
stuff and
Erwin then
then-
steps in,
and
saying
then
he wants Aaron to
have
join
all
the
your-
Scout Regiment to help reclaim
free
Wall
time
Maria.
next
He plans to
after
take a different
doing
route since
your,
the main entrance to
covers
Trost is
for
sealed.
sure.
A merchant suggests sealing all gates to block the colossal Titan. But Levy questions
But
if
it
the
is
Titans will just
definitely
wait around
annoying.
during the sealing, pointing out that the merchants are
It
just worried about
takes
their
me
profit.
back
Pastor
in
Nick
my
gets
days
upset
when
again,
I also
but
do
Armin
my-
points out that it's
my
attitudes like Nick's
covers
that delayed
at
mounting
midnight.
weapons on the walls. As Nick and the merchants argue,
'Cause I
Zachary calms everyone
procrastinate a
down and
lot,
asks Aaron
bro.
if he still wants to be a soldier for humanity, who says yes. Zachary then brings up the fact that Aaron lost control and attacked Mikasa after transforming in Trost. Mikasa hesitates, but she confirms it, though she adds that Aaron also saved her twice in his Titan form. Niall then brings up Aaron and Mikasa's past, where they killed 3 robbers as kids, stirring up more controversy in the room. People start questioning Mikasa's humanity, and Aaron defends her, accusing the court of twisting facts. He challenges them, saying that if they're too scared to fight, they should at least let him do it. Suddenly, Niall
usually
orders
just
a soldier to aim
play
at
some
Aaron,
music
but Levy
at the
intervenes,
background
kicking the
for
shit out of Aaron to prove
whenever
a
I
point,
do
even
drawing-
knocking out a tooth,
drawing
which pisses
streams,
Mikasa
but
off. Levy argues that
today
he's the
I
only one who
felt
can
like
handle Aaron if he
listening to,
transforms. Erwin then
like,
suggests taking
summaries
Aaron
of,
on a
like,
mission to
series
prove
that
whether
I've
he's a
watched
threat or an
already.
ally, which Zachary agrees to. Whew, he made it out alive. After the trial, Erwin apologizes, explaining the beating was part of their strategy to influence the trial's outcome.
You have my
It's
utmost
part
respect.
of the strategy.
Levy, sitting by Aaron, asks if
I
Aaron
can't
hates him for the
believe he
beating,
said
but Aaron
Levy.
understands
Oh my
it was
God,
necessary.
that hurts me
Hanji
so
thinks
much.
Levy went too far,
Levy.
since Aaron's tooth is knocked
Levy.
out, but they're all shocked when they see that the tooth has already grown back.
It's
Aaron becomes an
Levi.
official member of the Scout Regiment and heads to their old headquarters, an abandoned old castle. Levy's elite squad all have the same
Levy.
task:
Ah.
kill Aaron if he ever loses
It's so
control.
painful.
Isn't it lovely being
Listen,
surrounded by
this is
people who are
painful.
just waiting to kill you? When they get there, the place is a mess. And Levy orders a thorough cleaning. Aaron finds out that he's sleeping in the basement. Again, a rule set by the higher-ups. Aaron is surprised by how much Levy is strict about the rules.
1124 said,
Oh,
"Can't
Aaron,
hear
try
what
not
you
to
say
look so
clearly though,
discouraged."
because of the video lol
And Petra
face
tells him
blue
about Levy's
smiling.
past as a thug and his transformation after joining the Scouts under Erwin Smith's guidance.
Is
I
the video
knew
too loud?
he was a
Wait.
delinquent. Meanwhile,
Hello?
Mike and Erwin discuss the urgency of proving
Can't
Aaron's
hear
worth.
what you say clearly
Custody of
though,
Aaron's conditional
because of
results
the
of this
video
mission.
though.
Erwin, impressed by Mike's
Hopefully this
intuition,
is better.
promises to fill
Not
him
too
in on the
loud,
details
hopefully.
later. The squad, including new recruits,
I mean, that's the
prepare for an
highest I can
operation.
do it.
They only know what the reports say, but hope Aaron will be their trump card. Hanji then pulls Aaron aside for an experiment involving two captured titans she's named
At
Sonny
history
and Bean.
1124
Despite the
said
disturbing
Levy,
nature of the
it's
tests,
Leaf Way,
Hanji
face
is
blue
oddly
smiling.
cheerful, explaining their shift in
Leaf
perspective
Leaf
after
Way.
realizing the mystery behind the titans.
Lovely weather, don't you think? Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm just telling you guys now, Hanji loves titans. It's really weird, but just go with it. Aaron is intrigued. and
Hanji.
spends
At
the
least
whole
they
night
do
learning about the
Hanji's name
experiments.
right.
Unfortunately, he ends up with more questions than answers. The next day, they wake up to see captured titans have been killed. The squad is stunned, and they realize someone snuck in, killed them, and then used their gear to escape. Levy decides that it's time to leave. The military police will handle this investigation. Erwin cryptically asks Aaron about what he sees and who the enemy might be. Please remember
Aiaia,
this. This will be very
Aiaia,
important later on.
Aiaia,
Episode 16 opens with the
Aiaia,
soldiers being
Aiaia,
investigated for an unauthorized use of
Aiaia.
radium gear. A soldier is shocked that someone could be punished for killing titans, but another says
Aiaia
these
is so
titans
hard
were
to
really
say, bro.
important for scientific study, saying
Especially
their loss
when you
is a
sing
hit to humanity.
Aiaia.
Connie asks Annie what she thinks, but she encouraged him to think for herself. She then acknowledges Armin's courage, which is really out of character for her, and Armin compliments her on her kindness. That's kinda cute. At Scout Regiment HQ, Eld and Gunter wonder about whether new recruits will want to join the Scouts. They ask Aaron about potential new members, but he doesn't have anyone in mind. Levy joins them, and they set out on patrol. Meanwhile,
Levy,
John, Connie,
it's so
Armin, and
painful.
Sasha discuss their future, weighing their choices as they're lined
Levy.
up by a soldier.
Yeah,
Erwin
bye.
Smith then addresses the group, outlining the grim reality of Scout Regiment life, including a high casualty rate over recent years. They're basically the Death Patrol.
Whoever still wishes to put their life on the line and join us, remain here.
He introduces the mission to explore the basement in Aaron's old house. Most of the recruits leave, but John, Sasha, Kane, Mikasa, Armin, Rainer, Bertold, Ymir, and Krista decide to stay, saluting Erwin. Yep, we've got our main cast. The new recruits begin training, focusing on mastering Erwin's long-range scouting formation. Later, as Aaron finishes chores, he reunites with Mikasa and Armin. Mikasa is still mad about Levy kicking him, and says that she will take revenge.
That pipsqueak took things way too far.
Aaron is shocked to see John join the Scouts, and is even more shocked to hear that Marcus is dead. Aaron discusses his Titan abilities with Mikasa and John, admitting he lost control and attacked Mikasa, though she tries to downplay it. She is very in love with him. As preparations are completed, the bell signals the start of the 57th expedition, with Erwin leading the soldiers out of the wall, and so we begin. Episode 17 kicks off with the Scout Regiment's expedition beyond the walls. Soon into the journey, Mike Zacharias picks up on a Titan nearby, but they let the support squad handle it to keep the main group safe. Sasha, watching the action, is pretty spooked, but her leader reminds her to stay focused and leave it to the support squad. As they travel, Aaron remembers Gunther explaining that the support squad can only back them up until they reach an old town. Beyond that, they'll rely on Erwin's long-distance enemy scouting formation. Aaron wonders if the new recruits can handle Titan encounters, but Aruo tells him the plans were really about avoiding Titans altogether. After leaving the old town, Erwin gets everyone into formation. Armin, John, and Rainer split up and head out on their own.
Do us a favor, and if you run into one of them, don't piss yourself.
Yeah,
Armin tries to stay calm, but he's jumpy at every noise. When he spots a red flare signaling a Titan, he relays it to keep everyone informed. This system helps them navigate with minimal Titan contact. Erwin had warned everyone that Titans could sometimes sneak up on them due to the terrain or other obstacles. Sure enough, as they pass through a village, Sasha runs into a crawling Titan. She panics, struggling with her flare gun, but her team leader and another squad member distract the Titan and lead it into a tree. Meanwhile, Armin is wondering why there aren't
it's so
any flares.
good.
A
No
black flare shoots
problem.
up,
I was
signaling
like
an abnormal
doom
Titan.
scrolling.
He fires his own flare as
Not
the
doom
abnormal
scrolling, but I
charges
was
the
like
formation's
searching.
right
I
flank.
think it's
Nearby,
because I was like
soldiers' nests
researching.
managed to take it
I need
down
to
with
listen
slick
to a lot of
but then
Aiaia
another
covers. I
abnormal
want to
Titan
listen to
appears.
everything
They
and
try to take it
anything,
down, but it
English
kills
and
both soldiers
Japanese, and I just like
effortlessly.
went through
Horrified,
every
realizes
cover,
this
and
Titan is
I
different.
remember I
It's
think
showing signs
listening
of
to yours, and I was like,
possibly another human who
wow,
can transform into a Titan
slay.
like Eren. What? This Titan, which Armin calls the
And
Yeeted Titan,
I just
confronts
commented.
Armin. It does something
It
shocking.
was really,
It
really good
checks his face
cover.
and
Very
then leaves him
awesome.
unharmed. Armin is left
Congratulations
stunned,
on getting
wondering why
400.
it's
It
scared
deserves
him.
more,
You
to
and
be
me both.
honest.
What is happening right
Definitely.
now? It turns out this female Titan led a group of Titans that wiped out most of the scouts on the right flank.
Could she have led the Titans here like a commander?
Who, her?
Armin, Raynor, and John regroup, piecing together that this Titan is looking for Eren and has caused massive casualties. They speculate about Eren's real location and figure out he's at the rear of the formation and decide they need to stall the female Titan to buy time for a retreat. John tries to slow it down by targeting its tendon, but the female Titan dodges and nearly captures him. It only hesitates when Armin shouts that it killed Eren, giving John a chance to escape. Reiner then attempts a direct attack, and although it initially looks like the Titan crushes him, he manages to escape by cutting through its hand. They all breathe a sigh of relief as the female Titan takes off, but then realize it's moving towards the rear of the formation, where they suspect Eren is. Episode 18 opens with Raynor asking Armin about his ODM gear while tending to his wounds. After their intense encounter with the female Titan, Raynor, Armin, and John find themselves with just one horse. John tries to call his own horse while they grapple with the tough decision of who they might have to stay behind. Honestly, I'd pass out from the pressure. But just then, Krista shows up bringing 2 horses, including John's. What an absolute hero.
What would we do without you?
They rejoin the formation, which continues on a different course instead of retreating because the scouts always have something up their sleeves. So they fire a green signal flare to proceed.
At Hisui
Meanwhile,
1124
Levy and his squad
said,
get the
"Can't
update
wait
that
to
the right
watch
side of the
yours."
formation has been straight up
Yeah.
annihilated. They press on.
I can't
but
wait
soon the
either.
report of an
I mean, if you
abnormal
want, I
Titan
can
comes in at another location.
put up
A group of
my
soldiers confront the female Titan.
current
Darius
vocals
Bear
and just
Walbron
like
tries
hear
to
it as
coordinate the
raw,
attack, but she just kills his team.
Right, it's not like the final version, but I can share it to you. I've already
Darius
shared it on the
tries to escape
stream
with
last
the
time
others,
because
but
I
he
was
ends up dying
recording it.
too.
So if you wanna,
Rest in peace, soldier.
if you want me
As
to
the
pull it up, I
formation
can
shifts
pull it up
east,
real
They
quick.
reach a forest of giant trees. Erwin decides only the center squad should enter, while the rest of the scouts, like Sasha and John, are tasked with holding off any of their Titans at the edge of the forest.
I'd be
Inside
happy
the
to
forest,
share
Eren
it.
is
And
pretty iffy about the
anyways,
tactic.
I'm just
But Levy says there's a
mostly
reason
just
for it.
doing
The trees
art
help them use
stuff,
their gear.
and I don't mind
During
doing
the
other
chaos,
stuff.
They spot the female Titan again. Levy's squad prepares for battle. Petra asks for orders, and Oreo wants to take the fight to the Titan. As they get ready, Levy is quiet until the absolute
Levy,
last second
you.
before telling everyone to cover their ears and shooting a sound flare. They're about to fight back. Here we go. In episode 19, the scouts' main job is simple. Protect Eren, even if it kills you. This revelation hits Eren like a truck. He thought they were just
At
keeping
History
tabs on him.
1124
Despite his
said,
objections and
"I
seeing more
see.
soldiers just
Oh,
ride
I'll
into their
check
death,
it later."
Levy says they need to
You'll
keep
check it
moving.
later.
Eren,
Are you leaving?
who always struggles with following orders and seeing people die, almost transforms
Guess I
into
can
his
put it
Titan
up
form
now.
before Petra catches him. She reminds him he swore to only transform when it was absolutely necessary. Levy gives Eren a choice. Trust his squad and keep moving, or follow his instincts and fight. He tells Eren to make the choice he'll regret the least.
In the end, you choose what you choose.
Because he'll regret it either way. The story then flashes back to a test with Hanji and Levy, where Eren, despite trying again and again, can't transform into his Titan form. This scares them, since Eren turning into a Titan is kind of the whole point. But then, during lunch, Eren accidentally
At History
transforms when reaching for a
1124
teaspoon.
asks, "Really?"
The scouts
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
this and
Wait,
pull out their blades
I'll
and
put
feel
it up
ready
now.
to attack him. Levy calls
I just hope the audition, Adobe Audition, actually works on me today. Let's see. I love her. I don't know why I sang that. do this one. I hope it works.愛されたいのに暴走中されたいHopefully it's the right one, I think. I think this is it. Yep. Oh my god. Where is my screen? There we go. Oh no. This one. Go down. Yep. Oh my god. There you go. I think I have. This is not my final mix, by the way. This was just me, like, I wanted to hear what the sounds like. Okay, I think it should. I hope it's not too loud. No, I forgot to give my my mixer the instrumental. Wait, I gotta do this one real quick. Instrument. Oh, sorry. It's just gonna load a little bit. Give me like a few seconds. Gachi gachi go gochi chica 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 nana tarenai. Bro, it's just the instrumental. I forgot to add the instrumental. Okay. I hope it's not too loud. 시간がないこれだけじゃ不満とくる通りで回し
れすぎすぎす寂しすぎすぎすはそこ浅すぎてさぐさぐささせよ旬の層までそこ血しぶくまで浮かれすぎすぎす悲しすぎすぎすそこ持ち抜けてさぶっ壊れてんだガラスのハートなんてそう痛すぎてはい
Bro, that was so difficult. That was so difficult to do. The Aiaia part sounds like I'm doing a JoJo's, like JoJo's scream. Yeah.
君の肩にさゆさゆ海を作るよ寂しい悲しい嬉しい気持ちいいしりさいきさチカチカ光る花火めまい星の中それだけじゃ不満来る通りゲームオーバー信じられない楽するダウンフォール疲れすぎすぎす寂しすぎすぎすはそこ砕いてくれぐさぐささせよ旬の像までそこちぎられるまで浮かれすぎすぎす悲しすぎすぎすそこ持ち抜けてさぶっ壊れてんだガラスのハートなんてさ痛すぎてはい疲れすぎすぎす寂しすぎすぎすはそこ浅すぎてさぐさぐささせよ旬の像までそこ血しぶくまで浮かれすぎすぎす悲しすぎすぎすそこ打ち抜けてさぶっ壊れてんだガラスのハートなんてさ痛すぎてはいthe last one was so difficult too because I felt like I was putting too much Aiaia. I don't know. It was so hard, but I think I like how I did the last part. I really like how I did the last part because I didn't want to copy Ado-san. I know Ado-san was like super good, but I don't want to copy it. I wanna sing it the way I feel like the character was like feeling, at least in the story.
At Hisui1124 said your voice remind me of Senchu.
Sencho. Is it like a VTuber? as a end VTuber, I'm not really that up to the end VTuber stuff. My bad.
At Hisui1124
Hoshima. Hoshima. Okay. I know her because my friend Flux likes her. I think. Well, she knows her. So I know because they did like a cover of one of her songs. So it's really good with someone. Isn't it? Oh. But I think Hoshima-rin's one is like definitely like much cuter. No. You don't know? No. How many times I did this part? It was so hard. I sound like Tom and Jerry, but I'm Tom. I I don't know how Ado-san can sound like so refined yet also crazy. But yeah, that was my vocals for my cover. But that's not gonna be my final version cause Aki-san.
Sketch's diary just followed.
Someone followed. I'm sorry. Hello. Wait, let me see. Someone followed. Who followed? It doesn't say. Thank you for following. Sketchy diary at YouTube. Oh, thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't know if the alert thing worked. I'm still like I'm like slowly trying to figure out how to do the alert thingy. And like I use like Caster Labs for the chat.
At Hisui1124 said it's great to have your own characters while singing though. I'm still trying to copying how I do singing.
I think Ado-san is just a different level. Ado-san, my goddess.
At Hisui1124 said maybe BCZI listened to her too much.
No, for real. I think I've been listening to Ado-san since I was in high school. And I think the first song that I heard from her was Gira Gira. And from that day on, I just like watched a lot of her like songs after that. And then I definitely got more in love after I found out that she got invited to sing us Uta from One Piece Red, and I was super into One Piece. I mean, I still love One Piece today, but I was like, at the time I was super into One Piece, like super into One Piece. Like I was like, holy crap, holy shit. My queen and my favorite anime is in the one same medium that I like, and I was like, oh my god. And she did so awesome with everything. Oh my goodness. Every single song that she did on that movie is so good. I'm like, and hearing her live too was like the best thing ever. The best way I spent my money. For real.
And Hanji sees that the teaspoon is totally safe in the Titan's hand. Turns out Eren needs a clear goal to transform. Just chopping his hand isn't enough. After this incident, the squad realizes how hard they've been on Eren, and everyone bites their own hand.
At some point, I think people will. At some point, I think you will have your own singing voice, or at least
back in the present,
it will. It's always nice to have like an inspiration in how your singing voice will be.
They reach their goal. A trap that was set up with the exact purpose of catching a Titan.
Some people say on some of my English covers of Ado-san that I do sound like Ado, but for me, I can't. I don't see it. I have another Utai friend. She makes mostly English covers, but she also does like Japanese covers, and her name is Helmet, and she sounds more like Ado. But the more you listen to her songs, she actually has like her own, like her voice is also like it is sound like Ado, but it's really unique in a way.
Sasha and Mikasa hear distant sounds, possibly cannons, and wonder what the hell is happening inside the forest.
I'm her number one fan. I'm everyone's number one fan.
Eren's comments about trust annoy Petra and Aruo.
I said it,
the reason Erwin didn't tell Eren is because he probably thinks there's a spy among them. Back at the female Titan, Hanji uses its own regenerative abilities against it, trying to make sure it goes nowhere. Levi and Mike try to penetrate its hardened skin, who's a lot like the armored Titan. Getting impatient, Erwin orders to use the explosives to break through the Titan's defense. Levi, standing on the Titan, tells the person inside to give up. In response, the female Titan screams. Turns out it wasn't a scream of frustration. She was actually invited all nearby Titans to come and eat her.
Have you listened to her like
Erwin
other songs other than like the One Piece? Of course, I feel like you would have watched like the classic ones too.
As they retreat, Erwin tells Levi to restock his supplies, and Hanji questions that decision. But Erwin says he thinks whoever was in the female Titan didn't just commit suicide. They probably
Kokoro no
escaped during the whole
kokoro to
ruckus,
kokoro.
disguised
I
as a scout.
don't even
The
remember
retreat
like
signal
the
goes off,
actual
and the soldiers are relieved.
name
They'll
for the
finally get to
Japanese
see
one,
who's inside
but
the
it's
female
called
Titan. But
heart.
this is Attack on Titan.
A disease
Nothing
called heart
is as it
in
seems.
English,
They
if
realize
I can
whoever
remember.
sent the signal
Kokoro
wasn't
kokoro
Levy.
no
Gunther
kokoro to
spots someone approaching and goes to
kokoro
check,
no.
only to be killed mercilessly. Oh man,
I'll
here
give
we go
up. I
again.
give up.
Ferret out the enemy. When they're one of
Episode 21 opens with Erwin and Hanji debating how the female Titan escaped, and agree that whoever it was did the same thing the colossal Titan does, using smoke to disappear. Hanji says that transforming exhausted Aaron and busted his gear too, but Erwin says it's too risky to assume all Titan shifters are beginners like Aaron. Man, if I was Aaron, I wouldn't take that disrespect. Aaron and his squad
Sometimes
now
I feel
find
like I
themselves
miss
running
some
away
of
from the female
some
Titan's
of the
user.
songs,
Erwin
'cause
says that the only
life,
reason she'd be
but
chasing them is if she had
I
enough
think
strength
I
to transform again. Unfortunately,
I definitely
when
have
she
some of my
transforms
favorites
again,
and some
Aaron
of
has
like
to trust his squad again
kind of
and
low
retreat,
tiers, not low
despite
tiers,
wanting
but
to
like
fight.
there
Eld,
won't be
Petra,
always
and
in my
Arua all
playlist, but
fearlessly
I
face
do
her,
like
but
them.
it's useless. The female Titan kills all three of them.
Petra!
This is the last straw for Aaron, who immediately transforms. He's gonna fight the female
it'd be
Titan
funny if
himself.
I actually do
Levy
the-
and Mikasa hear his
the
Titan
ears
scream
just
and
like a
rush toward
gesture.
him. As they start fighting,
Not
Aaron
ears,
is
the
kicking
hat.
her ass. However, her hardening and fighting skills are
Looking
just
like
too much for
Pomni,
her. In an absolutely generational moment, she decapitates Aaron's Titan before pulling his human body out of it. Mikasa arrives just in time to see Aaron being swallowed. If I saw my crush get swallowed by a giant humanoid monster, I'd alt F4 myself. She loses her mind and attacks the female
always
Titan, but it's useless.
good.
Her hardening makes sure of that. Levy pulls Mikasa back, telling her to keep her distance and reassess the situation. Though Mikasa is furious, she's
Yeah,
still clinging to hope that
I
Aaron
think
might
I
still be
also
alive inside the female
really
Titan.
love
You
her.
and me both.
Oh my
Episode
God.
22 starts
I
with
think
Mikasa and Levy trying to
I'm a
rescue
basic,
Aaron from the female Titan.
basic
Even
B.
though Levy can
I'm a
less
basic
because she
B,
can
but
hardly
I
escape.
like
Still,
a lot
their plan
of
is
like
simple.
the classics
Mikasa will
that she has.
distract her,
I mean,
while Levy tries
well,
to rescue
Usawa
Aaron.
is not
And
really
even for the
on
female
my
Titan,
favorite
two
like
Ackermans
list.
is a lot
Usawa
to
is
handle.
good. It's
Levy
awesome.
continues his assault,
I definitely
targeting the Titan's
her
name.
one
While
take of
Mikasa, driven by
Usawa
her
is
emotions,
definitely
tries to kill the
great,
Titan
like
against Levy's
super,
orders.
super
This
like
goes as well
oh
as
my
you can
god,
imagine.
ha!
Levy has to jump in and save her.
But I
and he
definitely
injures his
love like
ankle in the
Gira Gira.
process.
That's
Still,
just the
it's
first
enough.
song I
They've
listened to.
rescued
Gira
Aaron.
Gira,
But as they
Ready
escape,
Made,
Levy
and
sees something
then
that shocks him.
I also
The female
like the
Titan
Kokoro
is
no
crying.
Kokoro to Kokoro.
What?
That
As they
one.
root, Levy gives Dieter a scout
Namae
regiment
wa
emblem to
nanda
remember
yo.
his friend's bravery, which destroys Dieter and brings him and me
I was
to
so
tears.
surprised that
As
no
they
one
make their way
like
back to the walls,
not
Aaron
that
finally
much
wakes
people
up and
like
asks
covered
Mikasa
that
what
song,
happened.
bro.
This guy
That's
passes
why I
out
covered
a
it
lot.
in my
Erwin,
channel.
facing public outrage, prepares for a summons to the capital. While Aaron
I
is told
I
he's
feel
gonna
like
be handed over
I
to the
definitely
government.
could have done better.
Honestly, who would ever want to live a life this
But
bleak?
it's so good.
I'm Tetra's father, sir. Might I bend your ear before she sees us?
Episode 23 opens with Annie. She has a dream about her father training her before she wakes up in her room inside Wall Sinna. She joined the military police, so she gets to live inside the innermost wall. Over in the Stohost district, the rest of the lazy and corrupt military police, including Amy's colleagues Hitch and Marlowe, are supposed to escort a scout regiment convoy. Marlowe, who's disgusted by the corruption and joined the MP to make changes, catches their bosses selling equipment on the black market. He tries to stop them, and promptly gets his ass handed to him. But Annie and Hitch step in to help him out. After the convoy enters the city, Armin suddenly pulls Annie aside in an alley to ask for her help to smuggle Aaron out of the capital. Jean is pretending to be Aaron in the convoy, and they need her help to get him out of there. Annie's hesitant, but she agrees, slipping on a mysterious ring before they head off. I don't like this. What the hell is going on? They reach an underground tunnel, and Armin goes in, but Annie refuses. Armin is acting weird, and there are no civilians around. She senses a setup. But why are they setting her up? Armin then confronts Annie, accusing her of being the female Titan. What? His reasoning is simple. She had Marco's gear after the Titan Sani and Bean were killed. He admits he couldn't bring himself to stop her before because he didn't want to believe it. The situation escalates when Aaron and Mikasa show up, and when they try to get her to prove her innocence by following them underground, she just starts laughing like a maniac and admits to being the female Titan. Huh, the betrayal.
At History 1124,
and here's my weight.
Things heat up as Annie tries to transform. Armin fires a signal flare, and the hidden scouts rush to stop her. They try to hold her down and keep her from biting herself to transform. Unfortunately, that ring wasn't just for looking pretty. It had a blade inside
That's
it,
interesting.
which she uses to cut herself.
Now
As she
that
transforms,
you
Mikasa quickly drags
told me
Aaron
that,
and
I
Armin to
actually
safety
never
on the
thought
ground.
I would
The
ever
whole
learn
district
growling.
is then left watching as a massive explosion of light and
Because
dust
I've always
erupts from
thought
Amy's
like
transformation.
my
As
singing
Aaron
I
sees
think
Amy
is more of like
transform,
you
he
know like
remembers a
those
talk he had with Levy and Erwin. Orwin says
diva
that
kind
they've
of
got
like
one last
singing,
shot to
like
nab
in
the
the
female Titan. And shocker,
Philippines,
it's
like
flash forward in its go time in the tunnels beneath Stohouse. Annie, now in full Titan mode, is hot on air. Mikasa and Armin's
yeah,
heels.
it's definitely
Aaron's
more
trying to
fun.
transform into his Titan form to
Like
fight
in the
back and struggle.
Philippines,
He's still in
like
shock that
growling.
Annie's
I mean,
the
growling.
enemy.
I guess
Maybe
like
he's got
rock
mixed
and
feelings about
growling is
fighting
kind of
her.
like
Either way, Mikasa
also
and Armin
popular
decide they need to
genre, but
distract
it's
Annie to
like
get Aaron
the
over
more
there.
of like a diva like singing like ah!
Just when things seem done.
like beat
With
it,
Aaron
beat it.
trapped
I don't
under
know
debris,
what they
Jean
call
ditches
it.
his disguise
What's the
and jumps
English word
into the
for
mix.
it? But
Meanwhile,
At
Erwin and
history
Levy find themselves cornered by the
1124
military
said even not
police,
good as her,
accused
of
of being
course.
traitors.
yeah,
Chaos ensues
it's
with
still fun
Annie
though
throwing
to
rubble
do it.
everywhere.
I feel
Barely
like for
Aaron
me, I
even
still
beat
haven't
her.
really like
Armin tries to taunt
haven't really
Annie,
done
buying
it
time
right
for John's
because
sneak
most of the
attack,
times
which nearly works
every
until
time I
Annie
do
shields
like a
herself.
very
The battle
strong
moves
growling
across the
like
city,
so.
with Hanji and Mabu joining
It
from
takes
above,
me a while
trying to trap
to like
Annie with the
actually
net and
figure
the
out
special
how to
weapon.
do it. Like even the I
I
one was like it took me a while to like figure out how to growl but also not ruin my vocal cords. Same for Tot Musica.
At Hisui1124 asks, wait, are you from PH?
Yeah, I was born from the Philippines, but moved in Australia, so I can speak Tagalog if anyone's in Tagalog. Anyone in the chat is from the Philippines. From the Philippines! Magandang umaga! Mabuhay! But yeah, I'm from the Philippines. I know, I think my Tagalog is just not really up to date if there is updated like words. I can Taglish at best and English at mediocrely if that's a word. Mahal
At
kita.
Hisui1124 said Mahal Kita green heart emoji.
Aww, you're so sweet. Mahal kita. The TOS is so funny. I don't know. I was planning to have the TOS turned off today, but because it was like doubling the sound. But this one's funny. Ta 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 iya iya. Salamat po, salamat. Salamat sa pagmamahal.
Despite their efforts,
My
Annie breaks
Tagalog
free,
is not
leading
really
to
that
another
best.
chase.
That
Back with Aaron, crushed and brooding under rubble, he recalls Armin's
But I
words
am-
about sacrifice and
I can
change,
I
spurring a
understand
fiery resolve to defeat Annie, ignoring his
Filipino
injuries. Aaron finally
Tagalog.
transforms, causing a huge commotion.
But
now,
I-
in full
to be
Titan
honest,
mode,
I kind of
he catches
forget, like,
Annie
the
off guard with a
hard
massive
words.
punch and goes on a full-on rampage against her in the final episode of season 1. Chaos erupts during a church ceremony as Annie in Titan form crashes the party, killing a lot of people.
Either you in PH or Australia. I'm from the between.
You're from the between. Where are you from the between at? Filanian. You're a Filanian. Nama iwana tayo. Ha.
While civilians
I thought
freak out,
the- like,
Aaron is
the
hot on
Attack
her
on Titan
heels,
video was,
determined
like,
but controlled.
halfway
Hanji
through
and
and it
crew
wasn't.
are worried
At
about Annie
Hisui
being headed to an open area
1124
where
said not really in between though.
their gear won't work, so they hustle to cut her off. The most terrifying enemy is one that knows you inside and out. The battle between Aaron and Annie gets intense, but according to
It be
Hanji,
like that.
it's all part of Erwin's master plan. Meanwhile, Hitch and Marlowe can't believe what they're seeing. Niall Doc, hearing about the destruction, blames Erwin and even calls him a
At
traitor.
Hisui
But Erwin
1124
coolly hands
said,
over
I mean,
command,
the
getting
country
handcuffed instead.
location is between
Place
that
this
two
man
you
under
see on the
arrest.
map.
Yeah. Makes sense.
As the
makes
fight
sense.
rages
At
on,
Hisui
Armin and John work to
1124
distract
said
Annie.
too.
Aaron, fueled by rage of betrayal by someone he considered a friend and a comrade, gets a few good hits in. Unfortunately, Annie is the better fighter, and she almost bashes his head in before getting flashbacks of her dad. With Aaron not moving, she tries to escape by climbing the wall, but Aaron isn't giving up and jumps on her from behind. She manages to push him off and continues climbing. Just when she thinks
I
she's
do not
home
know my
free,
geography,
Mikasa
so
swoops in,
I would
chopping
say
off her
I was gonna
fingers
guess,
and
but
forcing
I
her
was
down.
like,
Aaron
where
proceeds to open
where's
a can
places
of
again?
rated R whoop-ass on her. As Annie recalls her dad's words, feeling misunderstood and alone, Having defeated her, Aaron hesitates in killing her when he sees her tears. Annie quickly hardens into a crystal, locking herself away. She's not dead, but she's not alive either. Permanent, sustained animation. After the dust settles, Aaron wakes up, bummed about the outcome, how they didn't get any info from Annie. Levy reassures him that it's over for now. Despite the setbacks,
Levy,
even as the mayor of Stohas
so
gripes about the
painful.
collateral damage. Meanwhile, the scouts prepare for the battles to come, and Aaron, as he's done so many times, sleeps it off. And the most disturbing twist of the entire show, so far
Looks
at
like
least, we're
have
shown the part
the
of
mermaid
Walsina
dress.
Annie damaged while trying to escape, and see a titan within the wall, staring back at us. The Titan rabbit hole.
I would
goes
love
deeper
one
than
day
anyone
to
could
have
even
a
imagine.
go to
And
an
we just
actual
got started.
karaoke bar and sing all the other songs that I can sing. So Sasagyo.
As Annie's crystal is wheeled away, the skull
Nirmalay.
section of Walsina.
Nirmalay, oh my Nirmalay fans out there. Mwah.
Hanji, as you can imagine,
Mwah.
is losing her
Most
mind.
of my
But that's when
from
Pastor
my
Nick
YouTube
pops up, all
statistics, it
stressed,
says most
telling
of the
them to keep
people
the
that
Titan out of
listens to
sunlight.
me is
Wait a minute,
either from the
they knew about
Philippines or
this? Meanwhile, Commander
America,
Irwin
and then some
gets heads up about
Australians,
the
which is
Titan in
like
the wall.
kudos.
And Marlo
Woo.
and Hitch are left cleaning up after Aaron and
Oh, that
Amy's
looks more
epic
cute
showdown.
now.
They're not
Okay.
happy about the whole mess.
I think I
Up
can
on
clean
Walsina,
it a bit more.
Hanji and the gang manage to cover the exposed Titan while Nick bickers on about his cult-like church and ignores Hanji's questions about the Titan. Frustrated, Hanji nearly tosses him off the wall but holds back, even though the maniac wants to be thrown off.
Lighten up. I was just kidding around.
Suddenly, there's urgent news from Stohas. While Rose has been
At
breached,
history
12 hours ago
1124
down south at a
Indonesia.
scout outpost, Sasha and
Indonesia.
Connie are
Oh,
bored
yeah.
out of their minds
I have
and are
some- a
chatting
few-
about sneaking
a
out
few,
home. Reiner's like, sure, let's break
well, I
in."
haven't
But then
really
thuds in the
talked to
distance
him
grab
much,
everyone's
but
attention.
I think
Turns
a
out Titans
friend
are
of
approaching.
a
And Mike
friend of
Zakari
mine
sends
is from.
Thomas to alert
I have a
Irwin,
few
while Nanaba tells the
Indonesian
recruits there's no
friends,
time to get their gear.
but I
They
haven't
have to
really
retreat.
talked to them
They all
because
leave,
they've been
feeling a bit
busy.
hopeless, but
I
ready to
know.
fight,
I think
which is kind of the
Aoi
whole point
Shiro
of the
is from
Scouts. The Scouts split up to
Indonesia.
spread the word about the Titan's
I
attack.
think.
Sasha and Connie know
I
the northern
think
terrain
so.
well, but Connie realizes the Titans are coming from his village's direction.
I may be
Would have
wrong.
had a panic attack if that
I
were
might
me.
be wrong.
Mika gives him the go-ahead
Wait,
to check it
sorry,
out after
sorry.
spreading the word. During all of this, Mika decides to take on some Titans himself, showcasing his insane skills. Back in Stohas, Aaron wakes up from the memory of his mom telling him to keep his cool when Mikasa's sick. Mikasa's right there, dozing off by his bedside.
Oh,
Aaron
kitty,
thinks about getting him a new
kitty.
scarf, but before they can chat more, Armin bursts in with news about the Titan invasion.
Wait.
Levy checks in with Irwin, ready to join the battle. Cut to Wall Rose, where Mike is taking on Titans left and
Shut it
right.
down,
Just when he
shut
thinks
it
he's in the
down.
clear, an
Na,
absolutely
na, na,
massive Titan covered with
Ready
hair
for
grabs
the
his horse, and,
show.
well, things go down south fast. The Beast Titan chucks the horse at Mike, trapping him. Then it kneels down and talks in perfect
Ow,
speech.
ow,
It asks him about
ow,
his alien gear,
Ishiro.
but Mike is way too freaked out to have a fun chat with him. One of the Titans takes
Oh
a
yeah,
bite,
yeah, he is
and the
Indonesian.
Beast
Wait,
Titan smashes his
let's
face
play.
in for it.
No,
He asks
we can let's watch some of his videos because I really like his covers. He's really actually a very good singer. I thought at first that he was gonna stay in hiatus because he told me at first that he was actually gonna like maybe not sing anymore.
Akisui 1124 said, if you know Kobo from Hololive, she is Indonesian.
Yeah, I've heard of her name. Kobo. Very popular. Let's watch some Aoi Shiro videos because it's actually slaps. I have a few collabs with him too. I had 3 collabs actually. Wait, but go. Let me find our collab stuff. Oh wait, this is one, and then this is one, and then I have one in my channel, but I don't think he has it. Why isn't it short? Oh. I know why. There you go. Then there's. I'll do the half of the English.
So get out, just get out, pathetic that obstruction. If not, just broken heart.
He does very good growling and like rock kind of voice. I don't know what you call him.
Forcing others to follow that bastard rule because a fucking race of my time. I grew up in ideals and accepted status. Have you ever thought it through? I say goodbye, I say goodbye, I say goodbye to all your screaming goodbye, screaming goodbye, screaming goodbye. You're made of
Yeah, that one I like a lot. And then we did like a group collab with Bino, and we did like a multilingual of like show, and it was really good.
Is he not active anymore?
Oh, he's active. He's back. He's back. That's what I was saying. Yeah, he's back. He's doing like a lot of group collabs now.
Laura Camila Mendoza Vergara 6543 said grinning cat with smiling eyes emoji, thumbs up emoji.
Thanks, Laura. He's back. He's back. He's doing more collabs with like mostly group collabs, but he's been doing some covers too. Which is I'm happy because he's actually really awesome and he needs more views and more subscribers. My twin needs more fans. That's me.
O sentimento que vai transbordando. Oh, oh. Ready to blow.
Yeah. My twin out. I know a few Indo, but I'm like not truly sure. But no, they're epic. They're all epic. No, it's fake.
Nos vendo nesse plano, de acordo com o ritmo, não consigo parar de avançar. Hey, impulsionando até ali, e eu amanhecer. Conexão de baixo a cima.
Yeah. That was so good. And then I did like and then in his 2K subs, we did like a duet cover for his 2K subs, which is Value, and it's so good. I still love it, bro. I'm so sad that it's so underrated. I'm just gonna play the whole thing because it's so good.
History1124 said that was so breathtaking, loudly crying face emoji, thumbs up emoji.
I told you, he's so good. I'm so happy that he invited me to do it too. I was like, oh my god, really? Crazy, because I listened to his Thought Musica cover and I was like, damn, this guy's crazy good. And then he actually like listened to mine too, and I was like, he was like, yours is crazy good too. I was like, nah man, yours more crazier. No, but it's so good. Oh, and also I'm like okay, sorry. But I was like, this also like me also like crying because I was like, my Japanese is not that good, but and he was like, no, you're doing great. I was like, okay, thank you, I trust you. I just trust everyone. If they say that I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright.
Like Indonesian Adu fanbase group chat.
Could be. Like he's the one that invited me to the big Adocord Disco server. Imagine Discord server. So he might be in the Indonesian Ado server as well. Oh my god, imagine you guys do a collab. Wow, this is crazy tayo.
Hisui1124 said you both voices have the harmony.
Yeah, it's so good. I think originally we actually didn't have harmony with the thing, and I was like, I'll just add some if you want to. And then he added it. I was like, it's so crunchy.
Hisui1124 said with me, nah, I'm still too far down there.
Nah. as long as you practice, and then when you want to try and ask for a collab, you know. I get what you mean though, because I remember when I like the reason why I've been like doing solo covers for a long while is because I don't know if people want to sing with me at all. Because I know some people do. I think at that time some people do hate on my singing a lot when I started. So I was just like, fuck it. But people do want to sing with me, so I'm happy. Yippee! It's so good. Yeah, he's so underrated. Wait, let me listen to one more. Cause he yeah, see this one, he it's all him. So fire, bro. This slaps. Bro, this slaps so hard. Like, bro, he can be both best of both worlds. Like, what are you talking about? Imagine if I have a I wish I have a male vocal so I could do this kind of covers, bro. Because whenever I try to be a different voice, like different voice of rage, it just sounds like me. Jesus. Okay, I know. Let's listen for one more that I really like. Mirror, mirror, dancing in the mirror, 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 dancing in the mirror, you and I. Where's the thumbs up? Shall we get to this bar? How about that?
We keep premiums low by chucking out the fluffy extras. Bingo car insurance, no fluffy bits.
At Hisui1124 said, wait, he can do girl voice while singing.
Yeah, he's crazy.
At Hisui1124 asks.
Yeah, he's crazy. It's like Mafu Mafu, bro. doesn't have to, but it's so good. This is the first song that I've listened from Aiaia. Aiaia is really super underrated, bro. He needs more fans. He needs more fans like me. It's crazy. Never get fast, that's allowed. I also wanna really re-record some of my Uta covers, because it's been a while since I made some. I haven't even finished the album. I was planning to finish like the album at the time, but for some reason I stopped to sing. I stopped. I didn't even get to sing like the last 2 songs.
At Hisui1124 said, "Alright, I'll be his fan."
Yippee! Thank you. No, he's like super underrated, bro. I can't believe that so many people is missing out. Oh, it's a fellow Indonesian utaite, you know, the support the fellow Indonesian utaite. It's so long. Indo utaite.
Hisui1124 said, "I'll check on his channel after this."
Yeah, it's really easy to search. You'll see it. So let's continue.
Smike about the ODM gear again.
I'll probably
Wondering if
yap
they even
about
speak
it
the
more
same
later.
language. Frustrated at the lack of the reply from him, he lets the Titans eat him again, and Mike gets devoured mercilessly. In Trost District, a garrison soldier rushes to tell Commander Pixis and Captain Hannes about a breach in Wall Roads. That night, the Scout Regiment gears up in Stohess District to head southwest and tackle the Titan problem. Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin talk by their carriage, wondering if the Titans could actually breach the walls from within. Armin recalls Shiganshina's fall, though it was a gate, not the wall itself, that was compromised. He speculates whether the walls might be made of the same hardening stuff Annie uses. Armin out here theorizing like a fan. I love it. Inside, Hanji is glued to a microscope, as per usual, until Levy calls him to get moving.
Levy, no!
Oh, right, sorry.
Hanji grabs a small crystal from the table and they head out. On the carriage ride, Armin's curious about Pastor Nix being there with the scouts, but Hanji brushes it off as just another weird person in the group. Somehow, I don't buy that. As they leave Stones, Erwin fills everyone in on their mission to reach Ermic District. On the way there, Aaron learns about more of Nick's deep knowledge about the Wall Titans. But Nick isn't talking easily. Aaron gets annoyed, and Levy suggests a bit of intimidation might loosen Nick's lips, but Hanji says she doubts violence will make him talk. Meanwhile, Sasha go and warn her village about the Titans. On the way, she has a flashback about a conversation with her dad, and sees Titan footprints on the way to her village. In a new village, she sees a small Titan munching on a woman's leg. The woman's daughter watches in shock. Sasha tries to hack at the Titan with an axe, but eventually loses her grip. With no other choice left, she grabs the daughter, and they bolt. As they escape, the girl says that no one came to save her mom because of her bad legs. Sasha's haunted by memories of her training days, when Ymir and Krista called her out for hiding her true self. Determined, Sasha fends off the Titan with arrows, and they manage to escape. Rejoining her dad and his group, Sasha is welcomed as a hero. Her dad is especially proud of the strong person that she's become. A rare, wholesome moment in this deeply depressing show, and I needed it. Meanwhile, Kanye races to his own village.
Oh my god, I don't know why my...
When he gets there, the streets
I don't know
are
why it's closed
disturbing
by
and
itself.
silent.
I'm so
At his
sad.
house, he finds
I
a
hope it's
Titan
saved.
laying on top of the roof, and its limbs are way too small to have carried itself there. Rainer and Gelgar join him, shocked at how this Titan managed to get up there. Episode 3
thank
starts
goodness.
where 2 left off, in the devastated
Scared
village
me.
of Ragako.
I don't know
Connie
why I
stands
did
near
that.
his house, shaken by the sight of a small limbed Titan lying there.
Yeah, I mean
That's not the only
same.
puzzling thing.
I
There are
didn't
no
really had any
survivors,
Utaite
but no
friends
bodies to be
until...
found. Which is so
what?
strange, since
Until
the houses are
people
destroyed, but
actually,
there's no
like,
blood,
asked me
and the
if I want to
horses
join
are all
collabs.
still
I'm
tied
like,
up.
oh.
Just as they're about to leave, the Titan speaks.
I mean, I did.
Not
I
only
actually
that,
started like
it
doing
says,
like Utaite stuff when I was like
"Welcome home."
in high school, and then I started singing in actually. I don't even have like a
snaps
recording
Connie
like
out of the
thing.
obvious
Like
shot,
I don't have a
reminding him of
mic
their
or
urgent mission.
stuff.
Just
I
what
only had
in
like
hell was
this
that?
Mule
Elsewhere,
app.
Wall rose after warning
then-
nearby towns of the Titan threat.
and then I just
Nanaba's
have,
squad
like, a-
prepares to scout for the breach. Ymir tries to pull Krista
I just
from the
have,
front
like,
lines,
a,
but Nanaba insists that they need all hands on deck.
That's
And
okay.
Krista admits she's okay
Headphone,
with the risks
earphones,
and confronts
and
Ymir
then-
about her motivations for joining the scouts
and
instead.
then- and then,
Come to think of it, why did Ymir join the scouts?
I didn't
we
see
don't know
the whole
anything
thing.
about her. At the Eastern Line, the garrison, led by Captain Kits Warman and Captain Rico Berzenska, successfully holds off Titans with
And
cannons
then,
and
yeah,
precise attacks.
and then I just
Despite their
started
success, Rico feels
singing.
uneasy. He thinks the
Singing.
defenses won't hold against a larger wave of Titans.
Singing with more people when I get to like
As
actually
night
like
falls, Gelgar's squad
collab
hasn't
with
found
more
any
people.
breach, which baffles everyone since a
I don't
breach
even
this
know
big
what I'm
should be hard to
saying,
miss.
but you know what I
Tyra and
mean.
Moonrest, they spot a nearby castle
I'm
and
in
decide
high
to continue
school
their search
RN.
after a night's rest. Back in Walsina, the Stoas scouts ride toward
It's
Ermit
like-
District.
it's like a
Hanji,
journey.
fascinated by a crystal from the female
Pretty
Titan,
much.
talks to Armin about the possibility of using Aaron's hardening ability to seal the breach in Wall Maria. This sparks a discussion about a
I mean, if you
potential
want-
nighttime expedition.
If you want
when
one
Titans are
day,
less
I
active,
can introduce
which
you to some of my
actually makes a
Titan
lot of
friends.
sense. In
Though
Ermic,
they might
see
be more
disturbing
older
signs.
though, so
A
I'm
bunch
not
of
really
refugees
sure.
who have been displaced by the Titan
I mean, I am
breach.
old.
Levy uses this to press Pastor Nick about
But
the
I don't
silence of
mind
the
doing
Order of the
collabs
Walls.
if
Moved by
you're
the sight,
if
Nick
when you're
thinks that
ready.
someone within the regiment
I'm
might
happy
know
to
more
sing
about
with
the Wall's
anyone who
secrets
would
than
like
they're
to
letting on.
collab with me
Wait,
anyways.
you're telling
I'm
me
like
there's
I'm
another
like
traitor?
I
As
sound
the scouts
desperate,
discuss
but
this
I
new lead,
am.
Raynor and Ymir are in the storage room, where it looks like Raynor is
Well, it's
just
more
found
like
out
it's really
something
fun to
disturbing
do
about
it
Ymir.
anyways.
But they're
Though
interrupted by an
most of the
attack.
time it
A
takes
group
a
of
long
Titans,
time for
led by
me
the
to
Beast
finish
Titans,
them. So
begin an unexpected
my
nighttime
bad.
assault on the castle. The scouts are forced to gear up for a fight, with the leaders
Kände
drawing
du den
blades and
här också
recruits being
då,
told to stay
Bori?
back. Levy advises Aaron to keep a cool head in the upcoming battle, while Hanji plots a route to assist in locating the breach, heading towards Utgard Castle to join the fight. Aaron, and a cool head? Yeah, that's not happening. At Utgard Castle, under a moonlit sky, Nanaba and the senior scouts gear up as Titans approach them, while the Beast Titan climbs Wall Rose. We cut to about 2 hours earlier when the team has settled into the seemingly abandoned castle, noticing signs of recent visitors and questioning whether this is a safe move. Inside the castle, everyone is a bit on edge, especially Tom,
yeah,
who's troubled
that's
by the
true,
Titan he
that's true.
found on top of his house.
Yeah,
which
when
Tom
you're-
thinks
when
about
you're ready, you
eerily
can-
resembled his
yeah.
mother. Ymir cracks a joke about it, saying Connie's dad must have been a Titan
Go
too. Am I going to hell
slide in the
for laughing
Discord
at that?
server.
Later, as Ymir rummages for food, she pulls a fast one on Raynor by finding a can of herring she pretends to think
I'm
might be
happy
their
to
last
see.
meal. The can's label's in a different language, and Raynor notices only Ymir can read it, which makes Ymir
Nah,
realize
that's
she's just
that's
slipped
true,
up
girly
big
pop.
time.
I
So
am too.
that was what was happening. In
That's
the
why I
last
was like,
episode.
when
There
I
was
got
someone under
invited
attack
to
by
cover
horde
like a
of
group
Titans.
cover,
The senior officers
for like
dive
a
into
milligram
action,
medley,
slicing and
milligram
dicing,
project
while
medley.
Raynor and the recruits get
I was
trapped
like,
inside because they
wait,
don't have any
really?
other
You
gear.
guys want me
The
to
situation
join?
gets messy
And
when a
then,
Titan breaks
and
through a
then
door
they
and
actually
attacks
like,
Raynor and
I
Bertolli.
was a bit
Thankfully,
actually
the
too
two managed
late,
to fend off the
like to
Titan with
do
some
like
quick
the
thinking and a
prisoner
pitchfork.
stuff like audition, but they were like, no, you can sing SS, and I was
When
like,
another
oh,
one
okay,
gets too close,
nice.
Raynor is important, but he manages to throw the Titan
And
out the
then
window with some help
after
from
that,
Connie and Ymir.
I started to
Back at
actually
the top,
do
the situation is
collabs.
getting grim. The Beast
But
Titan
I,
is
of
throwing
course,
boulders
I
like
only,
they're
for me,
baseballs,
I
killing
think
scouts and smashing stables.
I like
The
to
remaining
just
scouts,
collab
low
with
on
people that
supplies
of
and
course
energy,
I
make a
know,
desperate last
or at
stand.
least
Nanaba
people
and
that
Gelgar
I feel
fend
like
off
it'd be
as many
nice
as
to
they can,
collab
but it's
with,
too
and
much.
if they're okay with it. So that's one of the things that I keep
And
in
Gelgar
mind
dies
when
at the
doing
hands
collabs.
and mouth of a Titan amidst the chaos.
But it's
Krista
also
flies down Raynor
okay
with
to
Zingas.
just like sometimes just be
Ymir,
adventurous as
seeing
well
the
with the
chaos that
people
they're
you
facing, realizes that she has to
you
go
call
all
them
out.
not adventurous.
She takes
What's the
Connie's
word?
knife from her before telling Krista to lift her
Out
knife
of
with
out
pride.
of s-
Then
com-
she
comfort
jumps off the
zone.
tower towards the Titan,
From time to time.
cuts her hand, which leads to a large explosion. Ymir can turn into a Titan too?
See you.
What the hell is going on?
Thanks, Hisui,
What the
for
hell
joining.
is
It was
going
fun
on?
talking
Episode
with you
5 opens
too.
with
I
a
hope to see you
flashback
next
to a few years ago.
stream
During
or
a snowy training
whenever you're
exercise,
free.
Krista, Ymir,
And also take
Daz
care.
end up missing. Aaron wants to
Have
organize
fun,
a search party to look for them
bye-bye.
immediately, but the instructor insists they need to wait until the morning to avoid getting lost themselves. Meanwhile, Krista is dragging an unconscious Daz through the snow, determined to save him even though Ymir says that they should just leave him behind.
You're not worried about Daz. You're just using him as an excuse to die.
Seriously, what is her problem? Ymir confronts Krista about her self-sacrificing tendencies, but that's not all. Ymir knows about Krista's true past. It turns out, she's the child of some nobleman and his mistress. We even have royalty in the Scouts. Man, that is crazy. Ymir continues to try to convince Krista to let Daz go so they can save themselves. But when she sees Krista isn't giving up, Ymir pushes her into a snowbank and takes Daz herself in Titan form. Back at base, the cadets hear a loud crash and rush outside, finding Ymir returning with Daz safe and sound. Afterwards, Ymir tells her secret to Krista in exchange for a promise. The day her secret is revealed, she'll start going by her real name. Back at the castle, we see Ymir transform into a Titan to save Krista and the rest of the scouts.
She's the one.
Krista is super worried about her taking so many Titans on by herself and asks her to save herself, which is pretty hypocritical if you ask me. Anyway, Ymir eventually sacrifices the tower they're on to crush the Titans beneath it. After the collapse, the scouts from Stohas arrive just in time to clean up. The battle wraps up with the scouts clearing out the remaining Titans, and Aaron even makes his first official kill as a human soldier. In the aftermath of the battle, Krista reveals her real name, Historia, to a severely wounded Ymir who passes out with a smile, knowing Krista has finally accepted her true self. Episode 6 starts as a steady rain begins to fall, and the scout regiment regroups atop Wall Road, looking at unconscious Ymir, missing limbs and all, to
I'm
say
still deciding if I want to make a thumbnail or MV for my submission for my Aiaia cover.
After all, Krista, who's going by her real name Historia now, discussed Ymir's hidden
our
Titan
stream
powers
today
with
has just
Hanji,
been
who's
chilling.
obviously drooling just thinking about
Nothing
Ymir's
much, to be
potential knowledge of
honest.
Titans.
I'm
Meanwhile,
mostly just
Reiner, shaken by
designing
everything
my
that just happened,
character,
confides
OC,
to Aaron and Armin
because
about
I'm
his
still
threats,
kinda
and says he wants to return to his hometown.
thinking if I
He
want to make
mentions
a
his home
actual
way too
MV
much. Something
for
might be
the
off.
submission
Hanji
or
promises
not.
an investigation into Connie's
I
village,
will see
but prioritizes
in 3
fixing
days
the wall
or so.
breach. However, Captain
I'll
Hannes
figure it
reports no
out.
wall breach, and no Titans found
I hope you're
during the
doing
search,
well.
which just confuses everyone.
5 years ago, we compromised Walmaria and launched an
At
attack on
Zany Draw
humanity.
said, "Ooh,
Amidst the
sounds
confusion,
cool."
Reiner pulls Aaron aside for a shocking reveal.
It
He's
is
the
very,
armored Titan, and Bertold is the colossal
very-
Titan.
what's the word?
Wait.
Lots
What?
of-
He
lots
then
of,
insists they're not out to kill humanity
big
anymore.
decision.
He just wants Aaron to join them, saying it would bring an end to the Titan crisis if Aaron agrees.
At
Okay,
Zany
I
Draw
can't believe
said
I'm
it's
saying this,
SOPAKKK
but we're gonna need some exposition. Aaron thinks
The
back to 12 hours
TOS is
ago,
so
when the
funny.
scouts in Stohas came to a
Thank
shocking
you.
revelation. Reiner and Bertold claim to be
Aw,
from the same
that's
town
sweet.
Annie was supposedly from.
Yeah,
What's more, when
it's-
Annie attacked
it's-
the scouts in
I
Titan
think
form,
I
she
stayed,
attacked the right
well,
wing of the
like
formation,
the,
and both
Zany
Bertold
Draw
and
said,
Reiner's
"I'm
map
always
had that
doing
information in it.
Aw.
This information deeply disturbs
Yeah,
Aaron
I've been
and
like
Armin,
trying
and Levy
to
advises them
figure
to
out
pretend that this
like the
information doesn't
design
exist
for
until they can confront them about
the
it somewhere
character
underground.
for my OC,
Unfortunately,
like
that's not
doing
an
like a
option
cosplay
anymore,
with
as Aaron
the
rejects Reiner's
original
offer because of course he
character
does.
from the
Mikasa
MV,
attacks him
and
Bertold, but
I
can't kill
decided to
either.
like kind of change
Reiner
it
and
a little
Bertold,
bit
with more secrets to
and
hide,
made it like a
transform into the
mermaid
armored
dress
and colossal
instead of like
Titans.
the shorts and the
Chaos
long
erupts, leading to Reiner grabbing Aaron and
socks
jumping off the wall.
thingy.
On the way down, Aaron realizes he's been betrayed by people he
I
considers
look like
friends.
more like a
Crying
jester
in a fit of
doll
rage,
than
he transforms into
well,
his Titan, ready
she
to
is a
fight
jester
them.
doll,
This
so
truly is a twist and a half.
but I'm more
Episode
like a
7
doll
opens
doll
with
than like a
flashback to
doll.
3 years ago,
If you know what I
when
mean.
Reiner told Aaron and Armin are
I'm
hiking
not
through
good
the
at
woods outside
explaining.
their training camp. Reiner mentions his desire
She's
to
more
go
like
back
a
home,
jester
while
jester
Bertold
doll,
dreams
and
to
I'm
save
like
her
a
life from the
jester
military
doll doll.
police. And Aaron's fired up about wiping out all the Titans. They reach a cliff under moonlight,
At Zany
overlooking
Draw
a lake
said,
where
"Wow,
Reiner
that's so
admires Aaron's
creative."
unbroken spirit. Fast forward to the present,
I
on
think
Wall
it's
Rose,
okay.
Aaron's mad and
I think
transforms into his
I
Titan
think
form,
I
feeling
overdid
betrayed by Reiner and
the.
Bertold.
No, it's
He
not
throws
like
a
I
punch at
overdid.
one,
I
but
just
ends up
really like
crashing down the
really
roof.
stuff.
Mikasa regrets not finishing them off when she had the chance, while Hanji calls for a strategic retreat as the colossal Titan swings into action, swallowing Ymir and another scout.
I
Hanji's
love-
squad
I
tries
love
attacking
really
the
stuff a
slow-moving
lot.
colossal Titan, but has to pull back. When Bertold
And this
releases
one,
a cloud
I
of steam,
just did
making it
lots of
impossible
frills.
to
At
approach.
Zany Draw said, "Jester doll doll it is."
Jester
Hanji
doll
plans to
doll it
ambush him
is,
when he
yes.
exits his Titan form. Meanwhile, Aaron is getting his ass kicked by Reiner, even though Mikasa is actively attacking Reiner and trying to help.
So I take it that's his Titan form, huh?
Aaron then recalls his training with Annie, who taught him a few grappling moves. Back in the fight, Aaron uses Annie's techniques against Reiner, throwing him down and going for a hold. Despite Reiner's armor, Aaron manages to find weak spots, tearing his arm off himself before Mikasa cuts the tendons of his legs, which aren't covered by the armor. Unable to move, Reiner lets out a scream.
Also,
Hanji
yeah,
thinks
I'm
this
also
might be
just
him
like
calling
listening
for
to
the
Attack on
It's
Titan,
actually
like
signals to Bertold, who makes his colossal Titan
summary
fall on Reiner
of like the
and
story,
Aaron.
because like
Episode 8
I don't know,
opens with
that's
Bertold's
my
colossal
like my
Titan
thing right
falling
now.
on Aaron
Just
and
like
Reiner.
listening
He
to
uses
them
it to bite Aaron out of his
at the
mane,
background
and he
while
and
working
Bertold,
on
equipped with
stuff.
new ODM gear,
I
escape
usually
with it,
play
and an
this
unconscious
music
Ymir. leaving
But
Armin
this time I'm
shouting
just
after
like,
Aaron
I
in
need
despair.
someone to yap on my
Meanwhile,
ear.
in the Cross District, a drunk Pixis is woken up by his assistant and informed about a low Titan presence and possibly new developments from Hannes' team.
I bet you're.
Commander Irwin
Imagine if you're
arrives,
from
pleased about
Australia,
capturing Annie,
Brett.
and they
That'd be
discuss the
crazy.
reactions of the higher-ups. After they come down, a scout reaches there
Our
and informs them about the
well,
encounter
best
with the
bet
Colossal
would be
and Northern
America
Titan.
too, I
So now they're in
guess.
the loop too. Back at the battle site, the scouts reel from the Colossal Titan's attack. Magasa is knocked out, and when she wakes, she learns from Armin that 5 hours have passed since Aaron and Ymir were taken. The scouts need lifts for their horses and are waiting for reinforcements.
Am I right or
since
am I
all 1 of them
wrong?
were injured. Hannes thinks
Probably
about
wrong,
Aaron
but
as a kid and his indomitable spirit.
Zany draws for the collar.
He tells them Aaron will hold out until they can rescue him, so they don't have to worry. Plus, he'll be joining them, and he'll do whatever it takes to get Aaron
think my
back.
chat is
Soon,
a bit late.
Owen arrives with the necessary equipment and personnel for a rescue mission. Hanji, though injured, strategizes that the Titan captors might be resting in a forest of giant trees in the southwest of Wal Maria, and plans a rescue mission there. As predicted, Aaron wakes up in
Pakistan,
such a forest,
oh.
except he
Said I'm
doesn't
from
have
Pakistan.
arms.
That's
and Reiner and
cool.
Bertold are looking over him and Ymir. Meanwhile, the scouts
Pakistan.
begin their expedition to
To
rescue
all my
Aaron.
Pakistan
Episode
fans
9
out there,
opens with Hanji,
mwah.
still nursing injuries, wanting to go to Connie's village, but she's convinced to stay back, and Moblet heads to Ragako to investigate the Titans at Connie's house instead. Commander Irwin leads the combined forces of the Scout, Garrison, and Military Police regiments in a long-distance
so
scouting
it's all
formation
red.
towards the
Ooh, I
forest.
can do, like,
Meanwhile, Aaron wakes up as a
red,
captain,
black,
minus his arms,
and then
which
white.
Reiner tore off during the escape. Okay, I know he's a Titan, I know they will grow back, it's still very disturbing. Ymir advises against trying to transform since they're surrounded by Titans and are both still healing. Reiner tells them they'll move at night when the Titans are inactive,
Zany
planning to
Draw
head to
said
their
he-
hometown, whatever the hell that is. Reiner tells Aaron and Ymir running is pointless, that they can't even turn into a Titan right now.
Don't you think it's about time somebody explains what you plan on doing with us?
Aaron realizes he doesn't know a lot of things he needs to know, like where Reiner and Bertold are from, what their mission is, and why Ymir
At
can turn
Zany
into a
Draw
Titan,
said, "Are
and whether
you
or
a
not she's on their
self-taught
side.
artist?"
So he decides
Face
to do
with
something he's
peeking
never
eye
done
emoji.
before. He
I
suppresses his
guess
emotions
so.
in order
Well,
to gather information.
I've drawn.
Okay,
I've always.
that is
I've
some
been
serious
drawing since I
character
was little.
development. Meanwhile, the scouts are making
But
their way to
I
where
think
they
I'm
think
still
Reiner
working-
and Bertold are
working
hiding,
on, like,
and Hannes
doing
reiterates
digital,
the fact that Aaron will never give up,
art
so they need to be
a
calm
lot.
when they get there.
Oh,
Reiner,
she-
mid-conversation,
oh,
seems to
she-
slip between personas.
I think I'm just pretty mediocre.
Command the rank of captain or anything.
It
He
depends
starts
on the
talking
artist,
like
I
he witnessed the
guess.
attack he and Bertold did yesterday, and starts talking about getting them promoted when this is all over. Ymir, catching on to Reiner's split
I do
personality,
like- I
tries
do
to
like
make
to
sense
draw
of it.
traditional
Turns out the stress
sometimes,
of a double life has gotten
but
to Reiner,
it's
and now
mostly
he has two
just, like,
personalities.
pen and paper.
One that thinks it's a scout, the other that was sent to destroy it, and neither remembers what the other did. This is happening because he's haunted by his sins, like when he fed Marco to a Titan. Yeah, screw this guy. I'd be sorry, usually, but he deserves this. Bertold tells them this and also expresses guilt over their actions, including their role in Aaron's mother's death. Aaron, as you can guess, promises both of them the most painful, merciless deaths that they can imagine. Ymir shifts the conversation to the Beast Titan, speculating that it's beyond the recent Titan invasion, and could be
At
Reiner and
Zany Draw
Bertold's ticket
said I'm
home.
a
As they
traditional
plan to
artist,
take Ymir and Aaron
That's
and move
nice.
out, they see signal
I
flares
appreciate
on the
traditional
horizon. The
artists
Scout
'cause
Regiment
it's
is
crazy
huge.
how you can,
Episode
like,
10 opens in Ragako,
make
where Moblet checks out the
art
scene at Connie's house
without
and finds the
using
Titan on top
Control
of the
Z.
ruins. He uses a portrait of his parents and realizes that the Titan does look
Ah,
like
it's
his
got
mom.
sometimes-
What in the
said the
world
things
are
I
these
mostly
Titans?
draw are
Meanwhile, in the
realistic
forest of giant
portraiture and
trees,
anime
Reiner and
style
Bertold
art.
hold
that's
Aaron
cool.
and Ymir
Wow.
captive. They debate their next
That
moves,
reminds
planning
me
to
of, like, a
transport their
friend that
captives
I
to their
had.
hometown, but are interrupted by
I
the Scout
have,
Regiment's sudden approach. Reiner and
and
Bertold
he was,
question
like,
Ymir's
really
allegiance
good. Well,
due
he's
to her
really
past
good at,
actions, and discuss their motives
making-
involving Historia,
making,
who has valuable connections. They need to
like-
deliver Annie,
like
Krista,
a-
and
what's it
possibly
called,
Aaron if
realistic
he's the
art,
coordinate, whatever the hell
and
that
also,
means.
like,
Ymir
really
is
good
forced to
at,
make a decision. Choose her own safety.
But
or
at the
Historia's.
moment, I think they
decide to
do,
start
like,
moving, but not before
anything,
Reiner tells
to be
Bertold
honest,
he should confess his love
for
to
their
Annie,
art,
which
and they do, like,
absolutely stuns Bertold. Reiner tries to
fairy,
pick up Aaron, who attacks
fairy
Reiner.
art? Is that what you call them? They're really cute.
But fighting without arms is pretty hard, and so he just kind of gets choked until he passes out. Bertold and Ymir have a
Aiaia,
conversation about their lost
Aiaia,
memories as Titans,
Aiaia,
revealing shared experiences of
Aiaia,
transformation and forgetting who they've eaten.
At Zany
Ymir
Draw
apologizes
said I'm
to
pretty
her. Turns
young.
out she actually ate one of
That's
his friends by
good,
accident.
'cause
So
if
there's
the-
just so
the-
much
I
we
think-
don't
Zany
know.
Draw
As the
said,
scouts
like,
get closer,
yes.
Reiner and Bertold quickly escape using their feet.
I'm not sure I'm
while
like
Ymir
16. I
realizes
think
Historia
most of
might
my
be in the approaching
most of
Scout
my
Regiment. Insists they
for
wait
some
for
reason
her.
most of
She's
me
afraid Historia
most
might
of
be used
my
by others before they can save
audiences
her.
that are pretty
Reiner
young is
reassures
around that
Ymir about
age.
Historia's safety, but stresses the urgency of their mission. They have to look out for themselves first. We're then shown her backstory. She was a beggar and an orphan, who was adopted by a cultist
Pick it
and
up.
turned into the
Zany
lead
draws
figure
said
of that
Newsom
cult.
pick it
This
up
led to her
easily.
life improving drastically,
Some-
but at
some
the
pick it
expense
up
of the misled
easily.
followers
Oh,
of
okay.
that cult. Eventually, the cult was
I-
discovered, and the entire blame was pinned on Ymir.
most
As
of
a
the
punishment,
audience
she was
that
injected with
like,
some strange
the
fluid
younger
which
audience,
turned her
but
into
I don't
a
mind
Titan.
them
Okay.
listening,
so
but
that
as
is
long
how
as
Titans are made.
their
Man,
parents
this show is crazy.
actually
She then
like
roamed around outside the
listen
walls for
to what
60
they're
years
listening
before she
to.
ate Rainer and Bertolt's comrade, which somehow turned her back into a human and gave her the ability to transform into a
Face
Titan.
blue, white
From there,
eyes,
she made her
face
way into
blue,
the
white
walls
eyes.
over her troops members talking about Historia and joined the 104th
No, that's
Cadet
great
Corps,
because like
which is how
the
she
young,
got there.
like I said,
Thinking about how much she's
the
grown to
earlier
care for
you like
Historia,
actually
Ymir makes
like
a desperate decision
hope
and
to
insists they
like
wait for Historia,
hone your
threatening to
skills
defect
with
to the scouts with
drawing.
Aaron if they don't
Like
wait
the more
until she
time
gets
you
it.
can
I
like
mean,
actually
well, that
work
would
on
convince
it.
me to listen to her if I were Rainer and Bertold. The scouts catch up and find
And as long
Ymir's
as you
Titan.
don't
Just as Historia
give
arrives,
up
Ymir
on
grabs
like
her in her
working
mouth,
on it
betraying
too.
the scouts.
That's one of the
As
things.
Reiner transforms into the armored Titan and they all escape with Aaron and Historia, the scouts get chase again, with Hannes determined to get Aaron back no matter what the cost. You know, I don't have a good feeling about this. As the armored Titan makes a run for it, Commander Irwin quickly hatches a plan and gets everyone in gear. Despite some grumbling from the military police, they all kick into action, following Irwin's lead with Hannes leading the charge after the armored Titan. During the chase, Mikasa is all business, ready to take out anyone in her way to save Eren. Meanwhile, Ymir pulls Historia out of her Titan form to talk with her. Ymir confesses she's sided with Rainer and Bertold, hoping for a better life beyond the walls. But Historia isn't buying it, wondering if Ymir is being forced into it. However, Bertold chips in, saying it's actually Ymir calling the shots on taking Historia along. As the scouts close in, Ymir gets real with Historia, admitting she's using her to secure her own safety because of Historia's family connections. But Historia reassures Ymir that she's still in her corner, no matter her reasons. Eren starts waking up just as the scouts try to slow down the armored Titan.
I don't know how,
Mikasa
I'm
drives in,
streaming right
slashing at
now,
Ymir and
but
going for a critical strike on a terrified Bertold. But Reiner jumps to his defense. Before Mikasa delivers the finishing blow on Ymir, Historia steps in to defend Ymir.
I think I'm fine
convincing
anywhere
Mikasa
as
to back
long
off
as
for
it's
the moment.
family
The
friendly.
tension ramps up when the
I'm
rest of the
doing
crew
a live
catches
stream
up.
right now, so I
John
can't really
tries
like
to
show
reason
it.
with Bertold, and everyone's getting emotional over their betrayal.
We deserve to die for the things we've done.
Bertold finally breaks down, admitting he never wanted to hurt anyone, and begs everyone to understand his situation, saying being their comrade was the only good part of his life. But when Mikasa demands Eren back, Bertold insists he can't hand him over. They have to complete their mission. Just then, Erwin leads a bunch of Titans right towards them. This guy is crazy. The situation gets desperate.
Shinzo Sasageo!
And Erwin, even as a Titan, bites his arm off in the process, keeps urging his troops forward to rescue Eren. Now, that's a guy I would follow into war. The scouts move forward, and even though a lot of them die, they push on with Erwin's orders. Those are real soldiers. The military police, you gotta take some notes.
I just don't know how I'm gonna
trying to create an opening,
what they call
Armin
this,
trying
share it in the
psychological
live stream,
warfare
because I'm
on
working on my
Bertold,
art right now.
lying about
Maybe
Amy
next
being
time.
tortured to throw him off. This leads to Bertold getting mad, which
I
leads
do
to an
need to
opening.
focus
And
on my
then
art.
Erwin manages to free Eren. Mikasa quickly grabs Eren,
Oh,
and the
that's-
scouts
I guess
start
that's
to
true.
retreat. Connie
If you
picks
want
up
to do
Historia
that-
and tries to take her with them, but she says she wants to go with Ymir instead.
I can check it out
they
real
all make
quick.
a break for it. Rainer starts throwing Titans to stop the scouts' retreat,
know,
which
I've
throws
worked
Eren
so
and Mikasa
hard, but
off their
everything
horses.
I did for
And in the
nothing,
distance,
feeling lonely
they
as
see
a
a
girl.
familiar, smiling Titan approach them. It's the same one that killed Eren's mom. Episode 12 opens with Eren being haunted by memories of his mom's death as he looks at the Titan that ate her. Meanwhile, Rainer is chucking Titans left and right at the retreating scouts, and Ymir is furiously fighting them, pissed off at Commander Erwin for messing up their
Such small
plans.
dreams
Just when
still,
Eren
it was
and
enough
Mikasa are
to
about to
give me
face these
such
smiling Titans,
happiness from
Hannes
up
steps in,
above.
determined to
You'll get
avenge
subs from
Eren's
my
mom
friends
after
TV.
failing to save her years ago.
Can you believe this luck?
I mean, as
John
long as
and
they're
Armin
actually
want to
like my
help,
content,
but
that's
Reiner's
the best.
non-stop Titan
That's,
throwing makes
I'm
it tough
fine
for
with
them
them
to even get
subbing.
close. Oh god, please don't let this go bad. Meanwhile, Ymir's torn between sticking with the scouts or handing Historia over to the warriors. But Historia walks up to Ymir and reminds her of her own advice about living for herself, telling Ymir how much she's inspired her, which makes things much clearer for Ymir. While this is going down, Hannes is doing his best to beat the Smiling Titan. Mikasa is too injured to fight, and Eren can't turn into a Titan no matter how hard he tries. The rest of the scouts are getting their asses kicked in the meantime. and Armin is trying to save John from a Titan. Hannes continues his fight and even gets the Titan on its knees, but it's not enough. The smiling Titan grabs Hannes, and right before Eren and Mikasa's eyes, turns him into a snack.
Oh no.
Eren straight up breaks down, laughing and crying from the sheer helplessness and horror of what he's been through. Honestly, if I was him, I would have gone absolutely loony a long time ago. But Mikasa comforts him, reminding him of how much he means to her, and thanks him for the scarf he gave her. This moment kind of snaps Eren back, and he promises to always be there to wrap that scarf around her as many times as she wants. Just then, as Eren's wounds heal enough for him to transform, he punches the smiling Titan instead, which seems like a supremely stupid move until it triggers a mysterious power that makes the nearby Titans attack the smiling Titan instead of the scouts. The Titans completely tear the smiling Titan apart, and Eren has finally avenged the death of his mother. The scouts use this moment to get the hell out of there. So this is what Bertold and Reiner meant by the coordinate controlling Titans. That is a crazy power. Realizing that Eren actually is the coordinate, Reiner and Bertold freak out and try to escape.
Get away from us!
But the Titans, now under Eren's control, start chasing them instead. As the scouts escape back to Wall Rose, Ymir decides to help Reiner and Bertold, picking her side. She says goodbye to Historia before turning around and helping the two of them, leaving Historia and everyone watching super confused. Like, why did she do that? On the way back, Armin sees Eren stare up in the sky, as he remembers how Hannes used to mess around with them when they were kids. I'm back to crying. We cut back to Shinganshina, where Ymir, Bertold, and Reiner have made it, surviving the attack from the Titans. When asked why she helped them, she says she's an idiot, which is so real. But she then explains that it was eating their friend that gave her her life back, so she's just returning the favor. Back in the safety of the Trost district, Erwin, Pixis, and Levi are interrupted by Hanji and Connie, who have some disturbing information to share. Meanwhile, Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and John discuss how many people lost their lives just to get Eren back, and he swears to plug Wall Maria and make Reiner and Bertold pay.
If you're really worth the sacrifice, you'd better prove it.
Back with Levi and the others, Connie and Hanji tell them all the evidence they've gathered from Ragako, and that it suggests that the Titans that accompanied the Beast Titan were the residents of Ragako that have been turned into Titans, which we already know is a thing from Ymir's backstory. This disturbs Levi, who can't believe he's been killing people all this time. I don't even know how to process that information, but Erwin is smiling. They're one step closer to the truth. And the final scene of the season shows us a mysterious figure wearing glasses emerging from the nape of the Beast Titan. If you think what's happened so far is crazy, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. The next few seasons make the first two look like Blue's Clues. Season 3 starts with Eren staring at the sea, getting all philosophical about what lies beyond it. You know, doing the whole anime thing. Now, we all know this sea thing has been a big deal, since his buddy Armin used to talk it up back when they were kids. But this is just foreshadowing for a future scene. Meanwhile, back in the present time, Eren and his pals from the 104th Cadet Corps have shacked up in this cozy rural cabin, cleaning up.
Oh. I was like, huh?
Folks, you're a nag and a spy!
They're all part of this new squad led by Levi.
I was like,
Levi's
oh,
not too
what the
happy about
heck
the
do you
stick cabin,
did?
because
It's
he's
just
a
a
clean
bot.
freak. And he decides to drag everyone out to help with this experiment Hanji's cooking up to test Eren's Titan powers. The experiment? A total bust. Eren's Titan form is a hot mess, barely holding it together and looking kinda pathetic if we're being honest. Looks like it's back to the drawing board, because Eren's Titan powers are nowhere near ready to help with their big plan to seal up Wall Maria. Later, they all catch up on some downtime in the Trost district, and there's some talk about Eren and Historia's importance to their plans, as two people look on in the distance. Oh no. Later, Levi is talking with Erwin. Levi's thinking they can squeeze some crucial info out of Historia considering her royal bloodline and all that jazz. Meanwhile, Eren's trying to keep it together, feeling bummed about his failure, while Connie's out for revenge against the Beast Titan after his mom is turned into a Titan. Historia's having a bit of an identity crisis without Ymir around, and she's just not feeling like her old self, which Eren actually likes because he thinks she's more real this way. Eren is weird.
Now? Well, now you're just a normal girl.
Things take a dark turn. Hanji tells the cadets Pastor Nick was murdered and was also tortured before he was killed, which only adds to their pile of problems. They then learn they've got to bail because the military police are on their tail, ready to shut down their operation and snatch up Eren and Historia. Levi's like, nope, we're out, and they make a sneaky escape, leaving no trace behind. The two onlookers from before see them escaping, and one of them calls Levy an old acquaintance. Oh boy. They're pulling a fast one with Aaron and Historia disguised in a separate wagon to avoid capture. But things go sideways when the kidnappers show up and grab the wrong people, John and Armin in disguise. Lucky for them, Mikasa's there to bail them out, as only Mikasa can. And just when you think it's all going according to plan, in swoops a figure from Levy's past, Kenny the Ripper, Levy's old nemesis, and his team who turn a simple rooftop stakeout into a full-blown shootout. Kenny and his team aren't messing around, pulling up with ODM gear with guns instead of blades, killing Levy's teammate and missing his head by an inch. And the episode ending with the iconic clip of Levy screaming, "Kenny! Kenny!" So, episode 2. It kicks off with Levy and Kenny having a full-blown shootout. Levy manages to dodge bullets like he's in the Matrix and decides it's time to bounce from the scene. While that drama's unfolding, back at the wagon, Aaron and Historia are chilling until they suddenly hear gunshots. Their buddy Kaiji tries to floor it, but Kenny's crew is on them like white on rice.
Did I get
they
the
rip
notice?
the top off the carriage with grappling hooks,
let me
and
check.
bam, Aaron and Historia are out in the open. Aaron tries to play hero with a rifle, but ends up getting tranked along with Historia. Kaiji isn't so lucky. He gets killed in the shootout. Levy, meanwhile, he's running for his life from Kenny and his team. He ducks into a bar to hide out, bleeding from his head. Kenny
Didn't show me
follows him in like he owns
anything.
the place, all swagger and confidence. They have a bit of
I
a
might
heart-to-heart
need to go
about
to
old
YouTube
times and
Studios
motives.
and
And just
if
when
it
Kenny thinks he's
shows.
got Levy cornered, Levy pulls a fast one and blasts him with the bar owner's gun. Levy isn't done yet. He throws a chair out the window as a decoy, jumps out, and uses one of Kenny's guys as a human shield while slicing up the others. I've said it before, but man, he is so cool.
I hear shooting! From there!
Oh, I can
His
see.
squad hears all the
see
ruckus
it
and comes
now.
running
that's
to back him up.
cute.
Outside, Kenny's picking himself up, kinda embarrassed.
That's
he
your
forgot
profile
people in
pic,
bars
right?
can have
Oh,
guns. He's also a
that's
bit
cute, that's
sentimental
cute.
about how much Levy's grown up. In the meantime, Levy's
Oh,
squad
the line
tried
art
to
is
rescue
really
Aaron from
nice.
Historia, with Levy instructing them
I
to
think
be
the
ready
line
to
art
kill these
one is
guys
really
because they'll
good.
definitely kill them.
I like how
Unfortunately,
like
John
the
doesn't
outside
really get
lines
the
are
memo.
thicker
Ends
than
up
the
being held at
inside
gunpoint by
lines.
one of
It's like
Kenny's soldiers.
cartoonish.
Great job, John. Luckily for him, Armin
God
gets knocked
damn,
by killing
the
his
eyes are
soldier.
really
But
good
there were just
too.
too many of Kenny's soldiers.
The
and
realistic
blades are
drawings.
no match for the guns, so they have to pull back. Cut to the royal capital, where the bigwigs are chatting in the throne room about all of this mess. They're like, let's just handle this the usual way, you know, with laws and stuff. But then they get word from Rod Reese that he's got Aaron and Historia, so their mission is a success. Meanwhile,
It's
Armin's
so
having a tough
good.
time dealing with having killed someone. Mikasa and Levy are there to offer some tough love and reassurance, but they do tell him he'll never be the same person again.
I
Afterwards,
really-
Levy works his
Said
charm
that's my
on
style,
Dino
Vivi.
Reeves to get some help in
And
exchange for protecting
the-
the cross
the
district.
colored
He
one
wants
is
to
really
know
cute
where
too.
Historia and Aaron are being kept. Levy really can do it all. Back with Erwin, Hanji breaks the bad news to him. Aaron
You have
and
the
Historia
glow-up
were
one.
captured, and if Aaron's report about a conversation between Bertold
Looks
and Ymir
awesome.
was correct, he's going to be eaten.
Bro,
Back with
like,
Levy, Dino
I
sets a trap for two
remember
military
that
police
reminds me of like
soldiers,
when I
Ralph
see
and
my
Sans,
friend like
who
make
get knocked out
a
by John and
realistic
Mikasa.
like art. I was like, how the hell can you do that? That's so
Levy
epic.
and Hanji then get a bit intense with the interrogation, finally breaking Sans after
I like
making
and commented
spill the
it.
beans.
If you, I
He
don't know if you
reveals
can
that
see
the
it,
Reese
but
family is actually running
really
the show,
awesome. Good
and
job.
Historia is key to it all. Then there's a twist.
I actually
Kenny
like.
kills Demo
It's so
Reeves for
cool because I
flipping
cannot
sides,
draw.
as his son
I cannot
watches,
draw
trying not
realistic
to make a
art, bro.
sound. Kenny knows that Levy will turn up regardless, because he knows the kind of guy he is. And in a dramatic family reunion, Rod Reese meets up with Historia in some mystery location. He gives her a big old hug and apologizes, while a gagged Aaron just has to sit there and watch. Episode 3 opens with a flashback of Historia telling Squad Levy about her bleak childhood.
I
She's
think it
basically
looks
ignored by her
awesome,
mom, who's more
even
into
if the
her
quality
books
of
than
the
her own
camera
daughter.
is not
Historia,
quality.
trying to be all sweet, once tried to hug her mom, who basically freaked out and pushed her away while wishing she never had her. Damn, that's harsh. But for Historia, even that negative attention was
Aww,
Only
I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I could have killed it.
Sometime
You should
passed,
add
and
me
after
so I
Walmart
could like
fell, she
add
met
it
her
on
dad,
my
Rod Reese, for the first time.
on my
He's all like, "You're coming to live with me."
stream because
But
I put
then
like my
Kenny
fan art
Ackerman
on
and his men in
streams.
black show up. They kill her mom right in front of her after her mom denies that she's her kid. Rod saves Historia from getting the same fate by shipping her off with a new identity. Krista Lenz, which is how she ended up in the Scouts with that name. Fast forward to now, Rod is being all fatherly and apologetic, hugging Historia
I
and
love
telling
fun
her
arts
she's
too.
special because
I rarely
of her
get any
royal
fun
blood and
arts,
all.
but
He says she's
I
humanity's
always
savior,
appreciate
and
it
says he'll take
whenever
her
I
back
get
to the place
one.
it all began.
I save it in
Meanwhile,
my
Sans in
folders.
prison thinks his buddy Ralph sold him out because Hanji and the gang tricked him into thinking so. He's all broken down when he realizes it was all a setup, and Hanji even makes fun of him for falling for the trick. But Sans warns them that someone else will just fill his shoes.
Oh yeah,
with
that also would
classic
work.
villain
Yes,
monologue.
that'd be cool.
Hanji is ticked off.
Best of luck, Hanji.
Smashing furniture when they think about Sans' stubborn loyalty to the king. Levy catches them in a moment of fury and gets them back on track about their real mission, dealing with Aaron's likely grim fate. Aaron, poor guy, could be eaten to transfer his Titan powers if the government has its way. That night, Erwin and Doc Pixis are plotting big time. They're thinking of overthrowing the government to really shake things up and set things right, with Historia as their queen
she's so
once they snatch
cute.
her back. Erwin passes the torch to Hanji, making them the new head honcho of the Scouts.
Commander Erwin, the Interior Squad's put out a warrant for you.
Just as dawn breaks, Erwin faces his own drama. The MPs show up accusing the Scouts of killing Demo Reeves because he knew too much. They arrest everyone but Hanji and Moblet, who managed to slip away. Aaron's got a moment to reflect on his dad's theories from way back, that the king altered the memories of the first humans that fled inside the walls 107 years ago in order to make them easier to control. Like anyone who knows too much about the government's sick schemes, his dad was killed for his guesses being too close to the truth. And now,
Getting too
Erwin's
close
seeing
to the
his
sun
legacy
there,
play
Mike.
out in his own showdown against the government. Meanwhile, back in Stohess district, things are heating up with the military police plastering wanted posters of the Scout regiment all over. John, Armin, and Mikasa are sneaking out of the city, heading to their camp in the woods. They're trying to stay under the radar since the MPs are on a full-blown scout hunt. Levy's there in the woods, strategizing their next move, knowing they've got a narrow window to act before Aaron and Historia are taken deep into Reese territory. Just as they're about to huddle up and plan, Sasha's sharp ears pick up the sound of footsteps approaching. Episode 4 starts off with Hitch Dreiss and Marlo Frutenberg going on a bit of a scouting mission in the forest near Stohess district, looking for any scouts gone rogue. They stumble upon Armin Arlett, and just as they're about to take him in, Levy and Mikasa swoop in and take Hitch and Marlo captive instead. That was sneaky. Over in the Tross district, there's a bit of media drama with Roy and Pure interviewing Commander Niall Dock. Niall's all vague and cautious, hinting at the Interior Police's shady dealings, but stops short of spilling too much. He's worried about this new ODM gear that's apparently great for killing people, not Titans, and frets it might be used on them next. Meanwhile, Hanji is on a rescue mission in Trost, convincing Flegel Reeves to face the music, not hide from the truth about his dad's murder by the Interior Police. Flegel's scared, understandably, but Hanji manages to drag him along, pushing him to stand up for what's right. Back to the forest drama, Levy's got Hitch and Marlo stripped of their gear, thinking they might be handy for infiltrating the military police. The tension's thick, with Hitch freaking out, thinking Levy's going to kill them for all the chaos during Annie's reveal as the female Titan. Levy eases up a bit, saying they'll be let go once they're clear of the area.
Hey, Captain Levi! Please, let me join in your cause.
But Levy says no. John takes over, pulling a bit of a fake out by threatening to kill them to test their loyalty. It's intense, but Marlo passes the test by chucking the knife and trusting the Scouts, which impresses John enough to vouch for them. With their new allies, Hitch and Marlo help the squad bust through a checkpoint using a mix of deception and a lot of horsepower. They send the duo back before anyone gets suspicious and have some questions for their captive, who's from the Interior Police. Then, back in Trost, Flegel's cornered by Roger from the Interior Police, who admits that they killed Flegel's dad for getting too involved with the Scouts. Just as things look grim for Flegel, he uses his newfound courage to trap Roger, with a little help from Hanji and Moblet. Turns out they're surrounded by locals who overhear everything, and Flegel used the moment to claim his rightful place as boss, vowing to protect the city. As night falls, Levy's busy interrogating a captured MP about Aaron and Historia's whereabouts, but he gets nothing. Just then, Sasha hears footsteps approaching, signaling more trouble on the horizon. Rewind just a little bit, and Niall's visiting Erwin in his cell, discussing his upcoming trial and hinting at a big plan that Erwin's got cooked up with Commander Pixis. It's all got a very Cloak and Dagger feel. with Niall left wondering about Erwin's cryptic remarks. The nobles are all set to deal with Erwin, thinking they've kept all their secrets safe and planning to execute him to keep it that way. In the throne room, they're all pompous and ready to hear Erwin's last words, completely unaware of the storm that's coming for them. The scene kicks off with the bigwigs of the military gearing up to dismantle the scout regiment. They're not messing around. Public gallows are up in the city, all set for Erwin's execution. In the throne room, Erwin's up against the wall, but he isn't going down without a fight. He pitches to the king and nobles how vital the scouts are, painting a grim picture of civil war and resource fights if the wall rose falls. He tries to get the nobles to spill if they have any secret plans to prevent such disasters, but he gets stonewalled with accusations of putting his own interests over humanity's.
Cowering in wait behind these walls will solve nothing.
Especially concerning Aaron Yeager's custody. Pixis then steps in, distancing himself from the scouts, playing it cool, but clearly disturbed by the whole setup. In the end, they decide he's just too much of a nuisance, and his crimes are too much. So they do the reasonable thing and sentence him to death.
It doesn't show up on my end.
Just as things
if
look
the
darkest
message
for Erwin,
you're talking about got
news that
deleted.
Wall Rose has been breached by the Titans. Chaos erupts, with Pixis trying to organize an evacuation. But Oral, one of the nobles, shockingly orders the gates to Wall Senna closed, preferring to risk civil unrest over a Titan invasion. It's a total power move, showing just how much they want to cling to their control and how little they care about the people. They make me sick. Niall isn't having any of it. He refuses to close the gates. Just then, Dallas Zachary shows up, backing up Niall with armed soldiers, turning the tables on the nobles. Turns out the whole Titan attack was a bluff engineered by Pixis to expose the nobles' true colors. With the nobles outed for their selfish ploys, Pixis declares a full-on coup d'etat. They arrest the nobles, planning to replace the false king with a ruler who actually cares about people.
Art industry world.
Oh, shut your mouth, you stupid!
As the dust settles, Erwin's shackles are removed, and despite the victory, he's left pondering the dangerous new path humanity is on. But there's no time to breathe. The scene shifts to Levy's squad gearing up for a fight, only to be met by Hanji and Moblet with news of the coup's success. Turns out the public now knows the truth about the scouts and the government. They win. Yeah. Later, Hanji reveals a crucial piece of intel to Squad Levy about a tragic incident involving the Reese family that ties back to Historia and some secret chapel ruins, which they figure is where they're hiding Aaron and Historia. Meanwhile, back at this creepy underground crystal chapel, Aaron's not having a good time, literally chained up and gagged, with Historia approaching in what I can only call a ritual robe. Episode 5 starts deep underground in the Crystal Chapel, and Aaron is all chained up trying to wiggle free. Historia is there trying to calm him down, dropping the bomb that her dad, Rod Reese, actually might not be the villain everyone thought. She insists Rod was backed into a corner with all those tough calls, like the whole deal with the scouts and Pastor Nick. Just then, Rod himself shows up, and both he and Historia touch Aaron's back, which triggers a series of memories. Memories that aren't Aaron's. He sees the chapel, Rod and his family, fighting a Titan, and is very confused, until he sees himself as a kid, and realizes that these are his dad's memories. The last thing he sees is him turning into a Titan and eating his own dad, which is how he got his Titan powers. Those are levels of disturbing that will send me back to my therapist. Meanwhile, Historia is hit by her own memory wave, recalling this black-haired girl, Frida, who used to visit her at the farm, teaching her to read and encouraging her to be the super kind and loved person.
Do you think that if I try real hard I can grow up to be like you?
Turns out Frida was her half-sister, who had to erase Historia's memories to keep her safe, only to be tragically killed along with most of Rod's family by Aaron's dad, Krisha, who then stole Frida's powerful Titan abilities. Just as they're absorbing all of those bombshells, Kenny crashes the party with news of the coup d'etat. He tells them to wrap it up. The scouts are coming. Kenny then heads off to handle the incoming trouble. Up top in Capital Mitras, we've got Dallas Zachary making a spectacle of one of the ousted nobles, Oral.
You'll be digesting your meals from the bottom up.
Meanwhile, Pixis tells Erwin about how the nobles' bloodlines are immune to memory wipes, a key Reese family trick. Erwin and Pixis disagree over their ideologies, but agree that they want the best for humanity.
Peace between men will never be certain. Not until our numbers fall to 1 or less.
After this, the scouts set out to save Aaron and Historia, cut back to Squad Levy gearing up for a showdown at the chapel. Levy tells them about Kenny's lethal skills and mysterious past, including some family ties to Mikasa. Mikasa reflects on a past incident that awakened a fierce power in her, a trait apparently shared by Kenny and Levy. Speaking of Kenny, he remembers a chat with his dying grandfather about why their family, the Ackermans, along with the Oriental clan, were feared and persecuted by the king. They're immune to those memory-altering powers. As Levy and his squad finally reach the chapel and find the hidden entrance, they're mentally preparing for a brutal fight against Kenny's squad. Kaven, one of Kenny's team, gives a rallying speech, urging them to fight with purpose. And the stage is set for some serious bloodshed. Episode 7 opens with Aaron, Historia, and Rod Reese in the chapel. Rod reveals to Historia that her sister Frida isn't entirely gone. Her memories still exist. He pulls out a syringe, just like the one Aaron's dad used on him, and offers Historia the chance to meet Frida through these memories.
Here they come.
Levy, Hanji, and their squad are storming into the chapel with a bang. They send barrels of gunpowder and oil rolling in, setting off explosions to create a smokescreen. This chaos gives Levy and Mikasa the perfect cover to start their attack, letting them close in on an anti-personnel control squad. The squad's gear isn't cut out for close combat, which gives Levy's team the upper hand. Just as the scouts start gaining ground, Kenny Ackerman jumps in. Amidst this chaos, Rod is trying to hurry up his plan with Historia, urging her to use the syringe as Aaron desperately tries to tell her not to go through with it. Rod tells Historia that the power stolen by Aaron's father should be hers, explaining that the founding Titan's hardening ability is what made the walls in this chapel, and the memory-altering abilities that it has that has kept peace in their society. Kenny, hearing all of this, confronts Rod after learning that only someone of Reese blood can use the founding Titan's power effectively. Turns out, he wanted that power for himself. Feeling used and misled, Kenny almost kills Rod, but is stopped by Historia, who declares her willingness to inherit the power despite learning of her father's manipulative nature. Kenny, frustrated but intrigued by Historia's resolve, decides to cut Aaron's forehead to force a transformation showdown between him and Historia. Rod desperately tries to proceed with the ritual, handing the syringe to Historia, but Aaron doesn't transform into a Titan.
Take your power back and use it to save humanity.
Historia ultimately rejects her father's plan. She smashes the syringe, tossing Rod aside, and declares herself an enemy of humanity, determined to free Aaron and let the chips fall where they may. Just as Historia frees Aaron, even though he's crying and asking her to eat him instead, which is crazy, Rod, in a last-ditch effort, consumes the spilled contents of the broken syringe and begins transforming into a Titan himself. Episode 8 starts with the scouts come across a net the interior police dropped during their hasty retreat. While trying to figure out their next move, everyone's attention is suddenly grabbed by the intense light of a Titan transformation. It's Rod Reese, and he's turning into a Titan right there. Rod's transformation isn't just a normal Titan transformation, it's massive. So massive, in fact, that the cavern begins to collapse under his enormous size. Levy, ever the leader, orders Armin and Moblet to get the wounded Hanji to safety. Meanwhile, Historia is trying to free Aaron, who's actually urging her to let her father eat him so that the founding Titan power can return to its rightful lineage. But Historia isn't having any of it.
Historia!
And soon after, the rest of Squad Levy pitches in to unlock Aaron. Just in time, too. Meanwhile, Kenny Ackerman is realizing that Rod didn't really understand Titans any better than the rest of them, as Kenny calls out to his squad to retreat further into the cavern. Squad Levy is finding themselves trapped with no clear way out. Aaron debates transforming into his Titan form, but fears it wouldn't withstand the collapsing cavern. But then, Aaron spots a bottle labeled armor. Inspired, he decides to take a gamble. He breaks the bottle between his teeth and transforms, hoping his Titan form can somehow reinforce the cavern structure. It works. His transformation triggers a crystallization that supports the cavern, preventing it from collapsing on them. Outside, Armin, Moblet, and Hanji have made it out, witnessing the ground above the chapel sink as Rod's massive Titan form emerges, crawling away. Seriously, this thing is even bigger than the colossal Titan. It's huge. Back underground, as John and Mikasa free Aaron from his crystal Titan form, Levy calls the hardening effect harden. They realize this is the same way the walls were made, and now they finally have a way to seal the hole in Wall Maria.
Quit your bawling! Have some dignity! That's what I was thinking anyway.
With an exit route secured by Connie and Sasha, the scouts escape the chapel ruins. They regroup with Erwin and the rest of the regiment, who've just arrived. With Hanji being the only serious injury, the mission is a success. As they assess the situation with Rod's rampaging Titan, Erwin decides their next move is to head for Orvid District, where Rod's Titan is likely headed. As they prepare for what comes next, Historia reflects on her father's actions and her own choices. She is resolved to fight alongside the scouts, even gearing up for battle as she steps into her new role, proposed by Erwin as the new queen, a symbol of legitimate power to rally the public. Episode 9 kicks off with Rod Reese, now a gigantic Titan, dragging himself toward Orvid District. Captain Karsten of the garrison is panicking, pressing Erwin on why they aren't evacuating the citizens. Hanji steps in, explaining that Rod's Titan is attracted to large groups of people, meaning evacuating Orvid would just lead the Titan straight to the densely populated capital, Mitros, creating an even bigger disaster. Despite the terrifying prospect, Erwin decides they need to make a stand in Orvid, using the city as bait to keep the Titan from heading to Mitros. They organize a practice evacuation to prepare for the worst under the guise of a drill with cannon fire, which has the locals murmuring about the military flexing its new power. It's always nice to see the people not trust their government. As dawn breaks, the garrison fires cannon rounds at the approaching Titan, but it's clear the artillery isn't making a dent.
Fire!
Levy, observing the useless bombardment, notes Erwin's strategy is a pretty risky gamble, given the inexperienced local forces. Meanwhile, Hanji arrives with a plan involving barrels of gunpowder and gear, setting the stage for a last-ditch effort to stop Rod. Historia, during this, challenges Erwin's idea of her becoming a mere figurehead queen if they survive, insisting on a more active role in shaping her destiny. As the Titan looms closer, the scouts prepare for a final confrontation. Using carts loaded with gunpowder, they plan to exploit the Titan's intense heat to trigger explosions. Armin and Sasha execute the plan, using grappling hooks to reel the gunpowder-filled carts into the Titan's grasp, causing it to lose its grip on the wall. Aaron then charges forward with a net filled with even more gunpowder, hurling it into the Titan's mouth to set off a massive explosion. In the chaos, Historia actively participates in the final takedown, slicing through Titan flesh in a desperate bid to finish off her father.
You have to listen to me! You could easily eradicate the Titans for good!
As she does, she experiences a vision of her father's past struggles and conflicts, cementing her resolve. After the battle, as the dust settles and Orvid citizens gather, they see Historia and ask if she dealt the final blow. She says she did, and declares herself the true ruler of the walls. That's a pretty insane character arc. Meanwhile, a seriously injured Kenny Ackerman reflects on his life's encounters as he succumbs to his wounds, discovered by Levy, who finds him holding a mysterious syringe, the same kind Rod used to turn into a Titan. Over in capital Mitros, things are buzzing with preparations for Historia Reese's coronation ceremony. Meanwhile, Levy is digging through the rubble of the underground chapel. During his search, he's informed that they found Kenny Ackerman, leading into a flashback that reveals Kenny's past. Years ago, Kenny had a violent first encounter with Yuri Reese, who demonstrated the overwhelming power of a Titan. Despite Rod's urge to execute Kenny immediately, Yuri saw potential in him, sensing his Ackerman lineage. Surprisingly, Yuri knelt before Kenny, asking for forgiveness for the persecution of the Ackermans, which deeply moved Kenny, altering his course from assassin to a protector of the crown. Kenny's story then shifts to a reunion with his sister Kutchel in a brothel, where he learns of his nephew Levy.
It's nice to meet you.
Kenny took Levy under his wing, teaching him the harsh realities of survival, but never truly acting as a father figure. He gave him enough food to keep him alive, and taught him how to be a ruthless killer, before leaving him when he was capable of taking care of himself. We're then shown how he served the Reese family beyond the shadows, and how it led to this moment. So that's Levy's backstory. No wonder he's the way he is. Back in the present, Levy finds a gravely wounded Kenny reflecting on his life's choices and the people he's met, each bound by their own chains to something: power, ambition, or survival. Kenny reveals to Levy that everyone, even the mighty Yuri, was enslaved to something. He hands Levy a syringe filled with Titan serum, hinting at a chance for more power before he dies. The scene shifts to Historia's coronation in the capital. It's a moment filled with grandeur, as she's crowned queen in front of the masses, having proved her mettle by slaying the Titan that was once her father. This act not only cements her as a leader, but also as a symbol of new hope for the people. Meanwhile, far from these ceremonious events, Reiner Braun's armored titan is found defeated in the ruins, with Bertold Hoover and the Beast Titan plotting their next move to capture the coordinate, showing that peace is still far from our reach. Episode 11 opens with Historia a couple of months after her crowning. She's out on a farm, not exactly ruling the country, but running an orphanage. John tries to tease Eren about being forgotten as the guy who plugged Trost District, but Eren's not biting. He's just happy seeing Historia doing what she loves. Then Historia pops over and ropes the guys into helping since it's getting dark. While they're lugging supplies around, Historia gets into a deep chat with Eren about what would happen if they faced Reiner and Bertold again. Eren's pretty grim about the situation, saying he'd have to kill them, but Historia is not into the idea of regretting their tough calls. She's just happy seeing the underground kids smiling.
Oh, come on! I got carried away!
The military's been shaking things up big time. They've got this new weapon called the Executioner from Hell that Hanji Zoe is super psyched about. It basically traps a Titan and then drops a huge log on its nape. During a demo, though, Eren starts bleeding from his nose because he's been overdoing it with the hardening stuff. But he brushes it off, all focused on getting to Shinganshina district and plugging up the wall. At dinner, Marlo Frudenberg is buzzing about their new tech, possibly wiping out all the Titans, which gets a typical eye roll from John. There's some banter with Sasha questioning why Hitch didn't stop Marlo from joining the Scouts, leading to a realization that Marlo's pretty clueless about relationships.
Are you that dumb, Marlo?
No brain under that bowl cut.
The conversation then shifts to the heavier topic of what these Scouts have been through, and John plays it cool with the new recruits who are getting hyped about taking back Wall Maria. Meanwhile, Eren's lost in thought about Ymir and the horror of being a Titan, which Mikasa snaps him out of. Eren decides he needs to talk to Keith Sades, who was the Scout commander before Orwin.
What's the matter, Browse? Not gonna sit?
No!
Keith Sades then tells Eren about his past with his dad, Grisha, starting from a bizarre meeting outside Wall Maria. Turns out, Grisha had amnesia except for his medical skills.
Anyway, it's not like he actually hurt anybody.
He got cozy with Keith and the Scouts, and eventually with Carla, Eren's mom. Keith felt overshadowed by Grisha, and his own failures as a Scout commander led him to step down, feeling like he wasn't one of those special people destined for greatness.
Congratulations, Dr. Yeager!
He then tells them that the day the Colossal and Armored Titan attacked, he was there, and he helped Grisha turn Eren into a Titan so he could eat him and gain his powers. Oh my god. Keith also admits to sabotaging Eren's training gear back in the day, trying to make him quit. But Eren still made it through, proving him wrong again. In the end, he sees himself as just a bystander.
I get the design a little bit at least.
Which kind of hits hard for everyone listening. Hanji is mad at him and calls his behavior childish, but Eren forgives him because he gets it. Man, that is a lot to take in.
Why should anyone have to be special?
Episode 12 is with the Scout leaders Dallas Zachary and Dot Pixis discussing the syringe Kenny Ackerman left behind. Hanji Zoe is pretty stumped by it because it's like nothing that they've seen, hinting that whoever cooked this up was way ahead of them technology-wise. Given the risk of messing it up by poking around too much, Dot Pixis suggests they might as well use it for their big plan, and who better to trust with such a wild card than Levi, right? Erwin's on board, noting that they'll rely on Levi's sharp instincts to decide when it's game time for the syringe's use.
Now then, I'd like to discuss that work of mine. As you know, I'm hoping to unveil it soon.
Switch scenes. Erwin's rallying his officers, prepping them for the massive task of taking back Wall Maria. He drops another bombshell. Grisha Yeager, Eren's dad, wasn't from inside the walls at all. Like the other Titan shifters they've met, Grisha had the Titan power but was actually on humanity's side, hinting that whatever secrets he had are stashed in the basement of his old house. Erwin says that if they want to get those secrets, they gotta do it the Scout way. Head out there themselves. Cut to Levi and Erwin having a serious one-on-one talk. Levi's concerned about Erwin's well-being. You know, since he's now short of an arm, he suggests that maybe letting Hanji lead the charge this time. But Erwin, fueled by memories of his father and his burning need to uncover the truth, insists on being at the front, even if it risks his life. Levi's not thrilled, but he respects Erwin's drive and agrees to back his play. The night before they set off, the mess hall turns into a wild scene, with everyone scrambling for a piece of meat. Literally.
You can't eat the whole thing alone, you pig!
During the food fight, Eren and John end up throwing punches over some old grudges and the usual banter, but Levi shuts it down quickly. After the dust settles, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin have a moment outside, reflecting on everything that's led them here. Eren's feeling a bit philosophical, realizing that nobody's an island. It's their unity that gives them strength. They spot a garrison soldier who reminds them of Hannes. Come dawn, it's go time. The citizens of Trost, led by Fleegle Reeves, give the Scouts a send-off that's pretty unheard of.
Well, as far as I'm aware, at least, this is a first.
Cheering them on as they head out to face whatever awaits in Shinganshina. Now that's what I call a rare moment. And over in Shinganshina, Reiner and Bertold sit on top of the walk, waiting for the battle that's coming. Episode 13 opens with the scout regiment sneaking towards Wall Maria under the cover of night, aiming to take back territory lost 5 years ago. On their stealthy trek, they bump into a Titan just kinda chilling out, asleep because there's no moonlight to keep it awake. Eren, meanwhile, is feeling iffy about the whole mission. Despite him playing it cool, Mikasa and Armin notice he's a bit shaky.
Are you okay? What's wrong? You're shaking.
Armin, ever the supportive friend, opens up about his own fears and reminds Eren of the time he yanked him out of a Titan's mouth. He asks Eren how he managed to be so brave. Eren says it's because of his burning desire for freedom, sparked by Armin's tales of the world beyond the walls. This fires him up, and he's already dreaming of seeing the ocean with Armin by next year. That nostalgic moment is cut short when another scout spots a trail leading them straight to their old hometown, back to where it all began. With the break of dawn, it's go time. The scouts switch from horseback to their trusty gear and scale the wall. Erwin's got a plan to seal both the inner and outer gates of Shinganshina to trap any lurking Titans and cut off any surprise visits from the enemy. They're all incognito, with hoods covering their faces to keep the enemy guessing. Once they land, Eren's hit with a wave of emotion seeing his old town, but Levi snaps him out of it, urging him to focus. Hanji, noticing a strange lack of Titans, signals the green flare to mark their arrival. Eren then takes a leap of faith over the wall, transforming into his Titan form to seal the breach successfully. Mikasa swoops in to fetch him post-transformation, lending him her cloak. With the outer gate sealed, they move to secure the inner gate, but Levi reminds Eren that sealing the gates is just the start. The real challenge will be dealing with Reiner and Bertold, who can break through their defenses as long as they're alive.
So I'd say there were 3 people camping up here at least. Wait.
Armin, meanwhile, looks at the recent campsite on top of the wall and finds cooking supplies and black tea. The cold teapot hints they left in a hurry, knowing the scouts were coming. The realization that they're not just dealing with 3 enemies, but potentially more hidden ones, puts everyone on high alert. Armin steps up, tasked by Erwin to find where the enemies are hiding. His tactical mind leads him to suspect they might be hiding inside the wall itself. A hunch that proves right when one of the scouts spots a cavity just before Reiner bursts out and kills him, leading to an ambush by Levi, who nearly kills him, but he can't finish him off. Erwin is barking orders when suddenly, the Beast Titan shows up behind them, along with a bunch of other Titans, hurling a boulder that seals the inner gate, trapping the scouts' horses and setting the stage for a showdown. Erwin sees this as the moment where everything they fought for comes to a head. A final battle to settle scores once and for all. Episode 14 opens with the Beast Titan and his gang of massive Titans chilling outside Shinganshina district getting ready to throw down, while the scout regiment is prepped and waiting for them up on the wall. Meanwhile, Reiner, in his armored Titan form, is scaling the wall like some kind of monstrous spider. Eren is getting antsy and wonders why Erwin hasn't ordered an attack yet. Hanji lets him know that Erwin's keeping an eye on the enemy movements because it's obvious Reiner and the crew have got something up their sleeve. Then Erwin spots this weird quadruped Titan that's not like the new ones. It's carrying cargo.
It's also likely that this was the enemy's scout.
Seems like it could be an intelligent Titan. Erwin thinks that might have been the one who scouted them out for Reiner. Next thing you know, the Beast Titan lets out a roar, and the smaller Titans start charging the wall. Their plan? Go straight for the horses, trapping the scouts without any means of escape or resupply. Erwin immediately understands that the main goal is to snatch Eren, but first, they gotta make the scouts sitting ducks. Armin's all nervous because the armored Titan's getting way too close. They still have no clue where Bertold is hiding. Erwin makes a call to the squads to join forces at the gate and get ready to bring down the armored Titan using their new Thunder Spears. Erwin then pulls Levi and Armin aside for a quick strategy chat. He wants Levi to stick around to protect the horses and to take a shot at the Beast Titan when he gets the chance. Reiner's up on the wall now, seeing all the chaos below. He's eyeing the tethered horses, figuring he could take them out easily. He spots Erwin, all vulnerable by himself, but shakes off the distraction when he sees Eren's Titan causing a ruckus in the streets below. Reiner's torn between chasing down Eren or sticking to the plan with the horses. Just before this mess, Armin had passed on Erwin's plan to use Eren as bait to Hanji. Mikasa's not entirely sold on it, but Hanji's like, if Reiner ignores Eren, they could use that to ambush the Beast Titan from behind. Even if Reiner doesn't fall for it, it could still throw the enemies off enough to break their formation. Eren, in the meantime, is down in Shinganshina, psyching himself up for a showdown with Reiner. He's reminding himself of his previous win and is all geared up with his hardened Titan fists. And Eren lands a solid punch on Reiner, cracking his armor. Back outside Shinganshina, the new recruits are scrambling to move the horses to safety. Levi's busy cutting down Titans, trying to keep the smaller ones from wreaking havoc before the Beast Titan can act again. Up top, Erwin's watching the grim scene unfold, reflecting on his journey from a curious cadet with big theories to the hardened leader he is now. Weighed down by the sacrifices of his soldiers. He's haunted by his need to uncover the truth in Grisha Yeager's basement, no matter the cost. The fight continues with Eren and Reiner going at it, but he gets cocky. Mikasa's itching to jump into the fray, but Hanji holds her back, waiting for the right moment. That's when they show off their new weapon, the Thunder Spear. Designed to pierce the armored Titan's defenses, they go all out. Hanji and Mikasa launch an assault, blinding Reiner with a direct hit to the eyes. The rest of the squad follows up, hammering him with more Thunder Spears, aiming to peel his armor right off. As they gear up for another round, Connie and Sasha hesitate, torn about attacking Reiner, who used to be their friend. But John steps up, rallying them for another strike. Good old John. He is a leader.
I don't think you're a good leader because you're strong. I think you're a good leader because you know what it is to be weak.
With Thunder Spears flying into Reiner's nape, just as he's about to scream out, the Thunder Spears explode. Months ago, during the struggle for Trost, Reiner and Bertold nervously watch as Eren Yeager prepares to seal the breach with a giant boulder. Worried that Eren might be eaten before they learn anything valuable about him, Reiner contemplates intervening with his Titan if necessary. Despite the risk of Eren undoing their efforts, Reiner is relieved they might finally have a clue after 5 years of searching. As they talk, Marco stumbles upon them and overhears their conversation about Titans and breaches. Marco obviously asks them what they need. Reiner brushes it off as a joke, and Marco walks away. But his mind races with suspicions about Eren's Titan abilities and the possible human nature of the Colossal Titan. Just as Marco pieces things together, Reiner attacks him, pinning him down. Annie Leonhardt lands nearby, and Reiner quickly explains that Marco has overheard too much. Annie reluctantly gets rid of Marco's ODM gear. Despite her protests, Reiner insists, questioning her loyalty and ordering her to prove her detachment from the evil race by leaving Marco defenseless. Annie agrees, even though she really doesn't want to, and the warriors leave Marco to die at the hands of a Titan. That's when Reiner shifts back to his soldier persona and starts asking why Marco is getting eaten by a Titan.
Why is Marco being devoured?
Months later, atop the wall in Shiganshina district, we're told Reiner and the Beast Titan's holder, Zeke, wait for the scout regiment's arrival. Zeke reassures them about Annie's safety and questions their commitment. As the scouts approach, Reiner and Bertold prepare for battle, discussing their strategy and roles. Reiner's focus is on protecting Krista, as he promised to Ymir, while Bertold plans to end the battle, haunted by memories of Marco and their past actions. We cut back to the present. The scouts celebrate because they think they've won, but that's when Reiner unleashes a scream, which is a signal to the Beast Titan, who picks up a barrel that has Bertold inside it. What? He throws it over the wall, and Bertold goes to check on Reiner as the scouts retreat. Armin tries a last-ditch effort to talk it out with Bertold, but he says he's hell-bent on killing humanity within the walls. Armin tries to use the Annie is being tortured card against him, but it doesn't work. Fool me once type beat, you know? Mikasa tries to jump him, but Bertold manages to get away unharmed. Reiner is hiding inside his Titan to shield himself from Bertold's explosion, and Bertold decides he's ending this and transforms. The Colossal Titan is here. Bertold, now in Titan form, is throwing burning houses all over the place, hoping to crush the scouts. Mikasa, Armin, John, Connie, Sasha, and Eren fear that everyone in Team Hanji has died in the explosion, that they're the only ones left. Meanwhile, Erwin and Levi look on as they wait for the Beast Titan to make his move. Things are getting real, folks. Episode 16 starts with the Colossal Titan going wild in Shiganshina district, throwing houses like they're confetti. Debris is raining down everywhere, and Mikasa realizes that Bertold doesn't know where they are yet. Connie and Sasha are looking at Armin, expecting him to come up with a plan, but he's drawing a blank. Armin gets a bit shaky and asks John to take over. That's disappointing. John steps up, telling everyone to head to the river, riding on Eren's Titan to save gas. Outside Shiganshina, Dirk tells Levi that they've taken down most of the small Titans. However, the Beast Titan's sitting out there, looking pretty chill. Which is weird, because he's usually on the move. Levi wonders about the explosion he saw and where Hanji and the others are. That's when the Beast Titan starts throwing rocks, like he's playing some messed up baseball game. The first pitch? It's pretty brutal. Tears through buildings and scouts, turning the air into a bloody mist. Levi's trying to dodge, but it's clear that things are falling apart fast. Erwin comes down from the wall to join Levi, filling him in. The front line is gone, leveled by the Beast Titan's rocks, and they can't even cross to the other side because of the Colossal Titan. It's looking really bad. Erwin realizes that the Beast Titan's forcing the scouts into one place, making them easier to hit. The only ones left are the recruits Levi and Erwin. Levi asks Erwin if he has a plan, but Erwin's stalling. Meanwhile, inside Shinganshina, John's trying to get Berthold's attention with Aaron's Titan. Aaron roars, but Berthold doesn't really care. He's still marching towards the wall. John tells Aaron to chase after him, but it's tough because the Colossal Titan's steam is just insane. Aaron tries to stop him by grabbing his foot. This goes about as well as you'd imagine. Mikasa's worried about Aaron because, he just got punted, and he's also not moving. John tries to keep everyone focused and coordinate an attack, but it's useless. Berthold blasts them with steam, and now Mikasa's injured too. She asks Armin if he's got something yet, but before he can say anything, they see the armored Titan walking towards them. Back to the Beast Titan, who's still throwing boulders at the scouts, Levy suggests they might need to flee, but Erwin's not buying it. He's got this plan in mind, but it needs everyone to make the ultimate sacrifice. He knows it might mean he'll never find out what's in Grisha Jaeger's basement. He tells Levy he might have to give up on his dream, and Levy, in true Levy fashion, tells him to lead them into hell while he goes after the Beast Titan. Erwin seems surprised, but he agrees.
If I don't lead the vanguard myself, then none of them will have the courage.
The Beast Titan notices the signal flares and sees the scouts charging towards him. He's shocked because he didn't expect all of these soldiers to be so reckless. Erwin and the scouts are riding straight into danger, firing signal flares to mess with the Beast Titan's aim. While they're drawing all the heat, Levy is sneaking up, using the other Titans as his path to get close enough to take down the Beast Titan.
And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us!
As the scouts charge, the bombardment hits hard, decapitating one of the recruits. Erwin takes a serious hit, and he falls from his saddle. Episode 17 kicks off with Flock freaking out as Erwin gets knocked off his horse during their mad charge against the Beast Titan. Zeke, the dude inside the Beast Titan, is getting pretty worked up. He's reflecting on how King Rhys messed things up by wiping humanity's memories, making them doomed to repeat history. As he preps another round of boulders to hurl at the scouts, he catches himself getting too emotional, a bit like his dad, which he's not too happy about. Poor Marlowe is caught up in his thoughts about Hitch, wondering what she's up to, probably still asleep. And just as he's lost in thought, bam, he's hit by a rock. It's brutal. Zeke cheers as his attack wipes out Marlowe and many other scouts. But a few survivors manage to pop off some more signal flares, which really takes him off. And he throws more rocks, killing even more scouts. Jeez, this is brutal. With the scouts wiped out, the Beast Titan turns and sees that the rest of the Titans with him have all been killed, realizing that everything the scouts were doing was a setup to buy time. And in that moment, Levy bursts through the green smoke and attacks. Zeke tries to cover his nape, but Levy is relentless, tearing into him and finally dragging him out of his Titan form and sticking a blade in his mouth. Just as Levy's about to finish Zeke off, thinking about maybe using the Titan injection he has to pass Zeke's powers to a dying scout, hopefully Erwin. The cart
What are we
rushes
watching?
in and scoops Zeke up, hauling him away.
Engine said,
Levy's
"Yo,
left
what are we
fuming,
watching?"
frustrated that he couldn't keep his promise to Erwin to kill Zeke. Meanwhile,
Oh.
Flock's left
Engine
wandering
said,
in the
"OMDA
chaos,
is
surrounded by
for
the
2
bodies of the
Bruh.
fallen scouts, completely shell-shocked by the suicide
Bruh.
charge they just made.
Bruh.
Back in Shinganshina,
I
John's
am-
trying to lead what's left of the
I
scouts,
am
and they decide to draw the Colossal
deciding-
Titan Berthold away
I'm
from the
making.
wall.
I'm currently
Realizing the
making
Colossal
art
Titan
and
is
also
getting skinnier,
listening to Attack
Armin
on
finally comes
Titan
up with a plan, and goes to
summary
wake Aaron up,
of like
which
the
he does.
story, bro.
John and the others charge Raynor to get his attention, but he ignores them and keeps moving. His eyes are
That's
set
what I'm
on
doing
him.
right now.
But Mikasa isn't satisfied with that. She attacks him with a thunder spear from behind, saying they need to kill him right here and now. Meanwhile, Armin explains his plan to Aaron and says if it works, they won't be able to see the seed together. Aaron gets up to face Berthold,
I
but
know,
he suddenly
it's so
slips
funny.
and falls down the wall.
I recently searched. I tried to use Restream IO because I'm like trying to find like a way to like
they make a plan
add
to use their last two
the
thunder
like the
spears to
two
kill
chats
Raynor.
together,
Unfortunately, Sasha
and I
gets
found
heavily
this
injured,
one that's
and her
like
thunder
free.
spear misses.
But
Mikasa
I
should
also
be
kind
able
of
to
don't
aim
like
the
it
last
because
thunder spear
the
at
chat
Snake
looks
from
really
inside the
ugly.
mouth.
Meanwhile,
Not
Armin
you guys,
distracts
but the
Berthold long
chat.
enough for Aaron to guard and fake being knocked
The
out.
chat looks
When Bertold's
ugly.
guard is down,
So I
Aaron,
might
now
need to
back
find
in
a
human
different
form,
one, but
takes him
I'm
out with a
trying to
surprise
just
attack
like
from behind, and they manage to incapacitate Berthold.
just
capture
try
him.
this one
Back
out
with Mikasa
before
and
I
the others, it looks
find
like
another
Raynor's got
new
them.
one.
But then, out of nowhere,
I do like
Hanji
that it has
shows
like
up
a
and hits the other
text
side
of
of his jaw with a
text to
spear,
speech because
opening
it's
his
kind of
mouth for
silly.
Mikasa to deliver the finishing blow. Back with Aaron. Their victory over Berthold came at a cost. Armin has been burned to a crisp by the Colossal Titan's heat. As Aaron thinks back to when he first met Armin, he stands over his friend's burnt corpse, saying he's more of a hero than anyone else. Episode 18
How you
starts
doing,
with
man?
Aaron standing over
Still-
the charger
still
man's
crashing
arm.
out about
He's
being a
shocked,
French?
wishing he had another way, but knowing deep down he had to rely on Armin's gutsy plan. Suddenly, He spots the cart titan making a grand entrance with Zeke on board. Aaron doesn't waste a second. He grabs the knocked-out Bertold Hoover, using him as a hostage while facing down the cart titan. Zeke, seeing Aaron, tries to play mind games, claiming they're both victims of Grisha Yeager's manipulations. Aaron's quick to piece together that Zeke must be related to his dad because, well, he kinda, sorta looks like Grisha. Just as Zeke is about to get philosophical, Levy, who's just wiped out the remaining Titans, shows up. And Zeke knows he's outmatched. He calls it a draw and bails with the cart Titan, shouting over his shoulder about coming back to save Aaron someday. Who the hell is this guy? And what does he want with Aaron? Right when Aaron's about to hand over his gear to Levy to chase after Zeke, he hears Armin gasping for air. The dude is still alive. Meanwhile, across town, Hanji's interrogating a barely alive Raynor about a letter from Ymir, intended for Krista. They consider using their Titan injection to steal Raynor's powers or possibly save a dying scout. As Hanji debates what to do with Raynor, Mikasa zooms off to check on Aaron and Armin. She arrives to find Aaron trying to keep Armin alive and pleading with Levy for the Titan injection. Meanwhile, the cart Titan jumps Hanji and the others before snatching up Raynor and taking him away. Levy's about to agree when who should appear but Flock, carrying a severely wounded Erwin.
I really thought this video is gonna take less time.
This is an
I was like
extremely
thinking,
complex choice,
maybe
and
while
Mikasa
watching this
suddenly draws
video,
her sword.
I'm
pitches
gonna
in,
be like,
arguing that Armin's the
we're gonna
brainiac
finish
who
this
pulled
stream
the
after
fat out
watching
of the
this,
fire more times than you can count, and he could be humanity's key to victory.
And
Levy then
it's not
smacks Aaron
finished
out of his way before Mikasa attacks him
4
and holds a blade
hours.
to his throat.
I mean, 4
Things
hours
get
is
even
not
more
that
heated when Flock chimes in,
long-ish.
arguing
I
that
mean,
they owe it to the fallen scouts
kinda-ish.
to save Erwin, their
I guess
leader
it is
who could turn the tide
long-ish.
against the Titans. He charges Mikasa, and she's about to straight up end this man, but Hanji gets there in time to stop her.
Listen, Mikasa. There's people I want to bring back too.
She convinces them that Erwin is the right choice, no matter how much they want to save Armin, and both Mikasa and Aaron give in. Levy's about to make the call, when Erwin, semi-delirious, raises his hand as if he's back in school, asking a question about the world beyond the walls. This moment decides it for Levy. He lets Erwin go. This man, this boy, is desperate to escape. Bertold wakes up just in time to see a Titan Armin looming over him.
Guys, please!
And despite his desperate cries for Annie and Raynor, it's the end of the line for him. As the dust settles, Levy and Hanji sit beside Erwin's body, acknowledging his sacrifice. Damn. The episode closes with the young scouts surrounding a newly reborn Armin, who emerges from his Titan form healed and changed forever. To start this episode off, Armin wakes up from a dream where he sees a weeping colossal Titan. Pretty heavy stuff. He finds himself on top of Wall Maria with Sasha, who's pretty banged up. Armin, totally out of the loop, learns from Levy and Aaron that the scout regiment is down to just 9 soldiers. He's hit with the heavy news that he not only received the last dose of Titan injection, but also ended up eating Bertold, which is a lot to digest. Get it? Alright, you get it. Levy explains that Aaron and Mikasa went to extreme lengths to save him, which nearly caused a civil war among them. Hanji plans to discipline them, but Levy stresses that it was his call to let Erwin go and choose Armin for the injection. It's a hefty responsibility for Armin,
Bertold, I ate him.
who's now burdened with the weight of both Erwin's life and a Titan power. With all that sorted, Aaron, Mikasa, Levy, and Hanji decide it's time to check out Aaron's old home to finally uncover the mysteries lying in Grisha Yeager's basement. Along the way, they get flashbacks of their childhood, back when things were so much simpler. At Aaron's ruined home, the crew moves rubble to access the basement where they hope to find answers. Inside the basement, it's a normal setup, almost disappointingly so, until Mikasa finds a keyhole in Grisha's desk. Aaron's key reveals a secret drawer with 3 mysterious books. They crack open the first book and find a photograph cut to Trost District where Nile Dock reflects on Erwin's lifelong hunch that the government was hiding something big. As they receive news of the scouts' victory and
by the way, I
retaking
did
Wall
see
Maria,
that you did
celebrations
stream
kick
this
off to honor
morning,
their
but I didn't
hard-fought
get the
return.
chance to
Back to the
because
photograph.
I was
Grisha's
literally
notes
about to
reveal
go
it's
to
not
work
just
by the
any
time
old
I saw
picture,
your
but
stream.
a photograph,
So
something from beyond the walls where apparently humanity is alive and well, contradicting everything humanity inside the walls believe. In a flashback triggered by the photo, a young Grisha and his sister Faye get excited about seeing an airship.
Grisha,
You mustn't go past the walls for any reason.
But when they get there, Grisha takes his sister across the wall, where they aren't allowed to go. Episode 20 opens with the same flashback continuing. Grisha and his sister go to see an airship. Along the way, they get bullied by some man who calls them Devil Bloods and Eldians, and he says it in a way that almost sounds racist. This is a core moment for Attack on Titan. Anyway, Grisha and Faye sneak into an area they're not supposed to be in to see an airship. They get caught, and Grisha chooses to take a beating to keep his family out of trouble. While Grisha takes his lumps, Faye is supposedly escorted home, but ends up being murdered. This horrific event sends Grisha on a path of deep resentment against the oppressive regime. Fast forward, Grisha is indoctrinated with the tale of Ymir Fritz, the originator of the Titan power, by his dad. She may or may not show up later, so make sure to remember that. The story goes that Ymir made a pact with the devil, and upon her death, her power split into 9 Titans who then went on to build the Eldian Empire, which ruled and oppressed for about 1700 years. Marley eventually takes over by snatching 7 of these Titans, setting off a war. The Eldians lost this war, after which the Eldian king at the time took his people and fled to Paradis Island, where they begin living within these 3 walls, which is where our story eventually starts. Finally, things are starting to make sense. Despite his father's acceptance of their submissive status under Marley, young Grisha is pissed off at the Marleyans, especially after Faye's death. Grisha grows up, learns of the full truth of Faye's death through an informant in the Marleyan government. This sets him on what he calls his path. He gets involved with the Eldian restorationists. They discover the true history of Eldia. Ymir and her descendants actually laid the foundations for what made this continent the superpower it is today. And everything they're taught is a blatant lie.
We'll restore Eldia and live proudly once more!
Grisha eventually marries Dina Fritz, a descendant of Ymir. They have a son, Zeke, aka the Beast Titan, who Grisha hopes will further their cause. However, the plot twists when Zeke turns his parents into Marley authorities to save his grandparents, leading to Grisha's brutal torture. Eventually, Grisha is taken to Paradis Island to be turned into a Titan as a form of eternal punishment.
Why in the world would Zeke decide to betray us? Isn't he your son?
Here, Grisha is reunited with Kruger, the officer who once beat him as a child, and he also sees the man who killed his sister. Grisha has to watch in horror as all of his comrades are turned into Titans and banished to roam around the walls for eternity. He then has to see his wife get turned into a Titan as well, and wouldn't you know it, she becomes the smiling Titan that killed Aaron's mom. But then, in a shocking twist, Kruger reveals himself as the Owl, the informant, aiding the restorationists. Kruger transforms into a Titan and destroys a Marleyan ship. Things are getting crazy. Episode 21 opens with the Owl, who we now know as Aaron Kruger, unleashing his Titan form and taking out the Marley soldiers. Kruger shifts back to human form and cuts Grisha free, introducing himself properly and sharing that he's also a subject of Ymir, a holder of one of the 9 Titans. He's been undercover, passing as a Marleyan thanks to a cooperating doctor. Grisha asks him why he didn't save his wife and the rest of his comrades. Kruger confesses that he's done some pretty unspeakable stuff to his own people, all in the name of restoring Eldia. Flashback to Kruger's childhood, he witnessed his family getting killed during an Eldian uprising against Marley. This memory fueled his desire for revenge against Marley and the restoration of Eldia, which he confesses to Grisha, revealing the cycle of hatred and violence that they're both caught in. Kruger tasks Grisha with the heavy responsibility of infiltrating the walls to retrieve the founding Titan, a mission that requires Grisha turning into a Titan and eating him. When Grisha asks why he can't do it himself, Kruger reveals he's nearing the end of his life due to the curse of Ymir, which means anyone who possesses a Titan power dies in 13 years. We cut to the present and realize that all of this is being dictated to Armin by Aaron, who's now seeing all of his father's memories. He explains that all subjects of Ymir, aka Eldians, are connected by something they can't see, and all their paths lead to the coordinate, which is the founding Titan, something Aaron also has because of his dad. Mikasa goes into denial over the fact that Armin has 14 years left to live, and Aaron 8. Back with Grisha and Kruger, Grisha says if he knew this was the price of freedom, he wouldn't have paid it. His fighting spirit is completely broken, but Kruger explains that he doesn't have a choice. He started this when he took his sister to see that airship. He tells him that every Titan has a name. The name of Kruger's Titan, the one Aaron has now, is the Attack Titan. Fun tidbit for everybody, the name Attack on Titan is actually a mistranslation. The name of the show in Japanese is Shingeki no Kyojin, which translates to Attack Titan. Aaron stands in his cell and says, "Attack Titan," as Hanji and Levi come to free him. He and Mikasa were being punished for going against Levi in Shinganshu.
You said the name of your Titan, right? Are you practicing ways to introduce him, or...?
We cut to Historia, who reads a letter Ymir wrote for her, the same one Hanji took off Raynor. Ymir tells Historia that she doesn't have much time left to live, and her only regret is that she couldn't marry Historia, which just makes her cry. Just then, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin walk in and awkwardly greet her as the queen, which she immediately tells them to stop doing. Together, they go to a meeting with all the senior personnel of the military, who are briefed on everything Eren was able to recover from his dad's basement. The truth about the outside world, the existence of Marley, and their pursuit to kill all Eldians, and information about the Titans. During this, he realizes that to control the founding Titan, he needs royal blood, but he doesn't tell them about it because he's afraid of what would happen to Historia. As Kruger prepares to pass on his Titan to
I'll probably
Grisha,
continue
he tells him to have a
the
family
rest of the
within the
stream
walls,
tomorrow
and says
because
that
it's
he
another
needs to complete
drawing
his
stream
mission in order to
anyways.
save Armin and
I'll probably
Mikasa.
do the
When Grisha asks him who that is, he says he doesn't know. He wonders whose memories those are. So this means not only can the Attack Titan see its previous users' memories, but it can also see the future too. The last episode of Season 3, everyone is trying to make sense of this huge info dump from Grisha Yeager's journals. The military police are freaking out, thinking maybe they shouldn't tell everyone the truth to keep things calm. But Doc Pixis says they've got to be better than the old kings and keep everyone clued in. Queen Historia steps up and decides to spill the beans to everyone, believing that if they're all going to face the same fate, they might as well face it together. As the word gets out, there's chaos inside the walls. People are all over the place with their reactions. Some are in denial, some are scared, and some think it's all a conspiracy. Hanji and Levi have a sit-down with reporters Roy and Pure, who are trying to make sense of everything. Roy's a bit skeptical about the Scout Regiment's info, but Hanji reassures him that their findings are solid. Meanwhile, there's a military ceremony going on where Hitch pops up and talks about Marlowe, saying he was brave till the end. Flock, however, says Marlowe probably had regrets, which really upsets Hitch. Flock isn't stopping there. He's on a truth-telling spree, telling Armin that they should have saved Erwin instead of him. This sparks a bit of a clash with Eren, who defends Armin, but Flock criticizes Eren for always thinking he's right.
I saw her give up in the end.
John tries to de-escalate the situation, reminding everyone that now's not the time for this kind of argument. Despite the tension, the ceremony goes on, and each of the surviving scouts, including Eren, receives a medal from Historia. But as Eren gets his medal and kisses Historia's hand, he's hit with another memory of his dad, pleading with the Reese family to stop the Titans. This shakes him up big time. As time passes, the military clears out the Titans from within Wall Maria, and by the following year, they're finally ready to go outside the walls. The scouts find the world pretty empty of Titans, except for one that's too weak to move much. Eren touches it and realizes it's one of their own who turned into a Titan. They decide to leave it be and move on. Finally, they reach the sea, a vast, endless expanse of salt water. It's a huge moment for him, especially Armin, who's been dreaming of this forever. But Eren's got a lot on his mind. He wonders aloud if killing all their enemies across the sea will finally give them the freedom they've been fighting for. And I have to say, the answer to that question ends up shocking everyone. We're on to Season 4, the final season. Episode 1 starts with a shift in perspective. We're in Marley now, and we're viewing things from the enemy's POV, 4 years after the end of Season 3. It's the year 854, and Marley's been stuck in a grueling 4-year war with the Mid-East Allied forces. The battle has kept Marley from their main goal, getting the founding Titan from Parody Island. Their forces, which are mostly Eldians directed by Marleyan officers, are now focused on capturing Fort Slava to control the Mid-East Fleet's base and end the war. On the battlefield, a young soldier named Falco gets injured and his brother Colt carries him to the safety of a nearby trench.
Brother, why are you here?
Good. I'm glad you're able to talk at least. I'll carry you back.
Despite the chaos, Falco's squad gives him some very aggressive first aid, while Colt reports to Commander Magath. Colt suggests a switch in plans, but Magath's like, no. Gabby, another soldier, motivates Falco, reminding him of their mission to take Fort Slava, a test to decide who inherits Raynor's armored Titan because of the whole Curse of Ymir thing. Despite her high scores, Gabby believes it's her determination to prove Marley's Eldians as the good ones that will make her the chosen one. She's kind of like a female Eren, if that makes sense.
He knows what's on the horizon. The person he chooses will be at the center of the plan to conquer Paradis, the successor to the armored Titan.
Meanwhile, Magath spots trouble. an armored titan with the new anti-titan artillery that threatens even their mighty titans. Colt says they need to use their titan warriors, Galliard and Peck, but Magab hesitates, not wanting to risk his valuable assets, especially after losing the colossal and female titans. Thanks for that, scouts. Gabby, however, sees an opportunity. She proposes a risky plan, one that involves her taking out the artillery herself. Stripping off her military gear, she makes a daring, unarmed approach towards the enemy, managing to trick them and take out the armored titan with 7 hand grenades.
Here goes nothing!
Falco
That's
rushes
crazy.
to help Gabby, and just in time, Galliard, the Jaw Titan, jumps in to shield them. Before going on a rampage against the enemy soldiers, Falco tries to give an enemy soldier first aid, but he calls him a devil and tells him to leave him alone. With the train down, Zeke and Raynor get the go-ahead to launch their next phase. Zeke's warriors drop from an airship as Titans, raining chaos down on Fort Slava. The scene is brutal. Titans crash into the fort, crushing
I almost
and
forgot
devouring
my
soldiers.
crown.
Despite the horrifying sight,
do it in
the
the middle,
Mid-East
I
Allied
guess.
forces fight
It'd be
back.
funny.
Raynor joins the battle, but is quickly reminded nothing is sweet in war, as his armored titan is damaged by the new artillery.
I'm sick and tired of all these walls.
He derails the train, but is almost caught lacking by one of the anti-Titan cannons. Thankfully
I
for
did
him,
it.
Porco
I
Galliard,
think
aka
that's
the
what
Jaw
it's gonna
Titan,
look like
saves
for
him
the
at
art for
last
now.
second. Meanwhile, Zeke faces off against the Mid-East fleet, using his Titan strength to chuck artillery shells at them. However, he's caught off guard by return fire and only survives thanks to Raynor. He should have let him die, in my humble opinion.
It's a very silent stream today, guys.
Ultimately,
Maybe
the
again
destruction
tomorrow
of the
it will
Mid-East
probably
fleet
be a
leads to
silent
peace treaty, But the
stream.
battle shows Marty what they've been fearing. Their reliance on
What
Titan
else
power
to
is
do?
becoming obsolete against
Thank you
emerging
for
technology.
everyone who
The
joined the
war may be
stream.
over,
I
but
know
they
my
need the
voice
founding
sucks. My
Titan's power
voice
to keep their
sucks
edge.
right
As the
now,
city
but
celebrates,
it's just
a
because I haven't
mysterious man
drinking
with a
water
surprisingly
the whole
horse-like
time.
face
I was
reads
just
about the victory.
nothing.
I'm sure that he has nothing to do with the
And
story.
I hope
Episode
you guys
2
can
opens
see
with
me
Theo
again
Magab.
tomorrow.
Zeke and Colt find themselves in a
thumbnail.
critical meeting with a general
Thumbnail,
frustrated by how the
Aiaia.
world views Marley's near defeat as a win for the
And
Mid-East Allied
this is
forces.
what my,
Magab admits the undeniable. The age
while
of
it's
Titans is
saving.
coming to an end. They're being outpaced by rapid
Still
advancements
saving.
in aircraft technology. And here, I thought
Still
the Titans were
saving.
invincible. Zeke proposes a bold plan to
saving.
revive the Parody Island operation and retrieve the
taking a
founding
while to
Titan
save.
by
There
Marley
they go.
time. The general
So we
agrees,
have
but is concerned about Zeke's remaining year as
my-
the Beast Titan. Zeke, worried about his successor Colt, promises that this time he'll get the
Stops
founding
not
Titan.
loading.
I doubt that, but alright, man.
I
My
got
father, Grisham
the
Yeager,
thumbnail-ish
said something
for the
great and
MV. I think I'm making a normal
And as his former
MV for
son,
this one.
I would like to be the end of it.
Like a simple
After the
MV
meeting,
for
Colt
this.
admires Zeke's influence despite being an LD.
for the MV.
Zeke hints at a secret Colt might
Not
inherit
too
along with
fast,
his Beast Titan,
not too
but their talk
flashy,
is
but
cut short
just
by
something
Magab,
nice.
questioning Zeke's
And
confidence
then
in reclaiming parity in a year, given the loss
hopefully
of 32
by
ships sent there
next
over
week
3 years.
I'll be
Again, thanks,
able to
Scouts.
send this
Meanwhile,
for the
Raynor wakes up
submission
from
for
a
the
haunting dream of
for the,
Shinganshina. Waking up isn't much better. Porco Galliard is there to recall his last-minute
for the,
rescue of Raynor at Fort Slava, and he gives him shit for it.
for the
Nothing like trash
contest
talking your
and
camera.
wish me luck.
Alright?
Hopefully
Meanwhile,
they
Pete,
don't
still
ban me.
adjusting to walking after
Anyways,
full-on Titan
I
form,
gotta go
joins in
eat now.
and
Thank you
brushes off
everyone
Porco's
again for
harsh
joining
words.
the
She tells
stream.
Raynor he should
I
visit
hope
his
you
worried
all
friends,
have a
including
good
Gabby,
day.
who's most likely to
and,
be the successor to his armored Titan. She'd definitely do a better job
have
than
a
him.
good,
At the harbor,
good,
young warrior
good,
candidates
good,
discuss
good,
their grim
good,
futures
good,
in a world that
good,
hates
good. Very great, very great.
Love
very
is
great,
delivery
very
your
great,
way.
very great,
Need it
very
fast?
great, very
Get
great,
2-hour
very
delivery
great, very great,
guaranteed.
very great.
Not fine.
Very great stream. Bye bye.